What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, everybody? Oh my god, why does Twitch keep unmuting me? Hello! Yes, I saw it. What's your thoughts on the new... Oh, I never even looked at that, Wobby. Yes. We can look at that real quick. Can you... It's in the TWAB, Wobby? Yeah, this stream was fucking... It was great. It was good. Compared to... the previous two streams, big fan. You know, I still have concerns about the DLC, and really, most of my concerns are around, like, community sentiment. I don't really know if you can do anything about that, to be fucking completely honest. But, in terms of, like, marketing and, like, actually talking about things and explaining reasons why and stuff, like, they fucking... kind of did a pretty good job. They did a pretty good job. So, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling, you know, and it answered a lot of my main concerns I had about Kepler, specifically, which makes me happy. Makes me very happy how they handled things, so. Feeding trolls on Twitter? Yeah, dude, fuck people. Like, people on Twitter either need to get older than 12 years old or fucking take a break, man. That's just where what is that? Oh, it's a charger. That's where I am in my life. One second, I want to check out this TWAB thing that Wobby asked me about. They had to spoil the activity. It's fine. I'm glad they handled it very well. Where they're like, hey, we were going to save this as a surprise. There's an activity. And I think that's, like, the best way they could handle that. I am really glad they did handle it like that. What's up, Miss Punisher? How are you doing? Hopefully everything's going well with you. Treatment and all that. Is this what Alan Wake is? Yes. It did have a lot of, like, Control Alan Wake vibes. Alright, Wobby wants me to check out something to do with the season pass. I assume I can just scroll through and find it. It's a new era of Destiny 2, and with that comes an exciting update to our seasonal pass model. Much like ye olden times, there will be 4 rewards passes during Year of the Prophecy, and just like before, the cost for those reward passes is being reduced to 1,000 silver. Oh, okay. It's like 1,200 right now, right? I said it in Twitter, but do you think the raid is in the singularity at the center of Kepler? Oh, it's gotta be. I wasn't thinking about that, but it's gotta be. They keep pointing out the singularity. You're so right. You're so right. See, new season pass boost you get plus the ability to buy season ranks boost. Well, we're really excited to announce that every rank will be available during day 1. No way. Okay. One thing we've refactored, some boosts added, some new ones, removing some that would be determined to be less than desirable. The new boosts offer comprehensive bonuses that apply to a wide range of content. Activity score boost now produce. Oh, is this the issue? 15% score bonus. Yeah, so... One second, I want to read through the rest of this. The extra 10 ranks can only be earned through gameplay. While we ensure that the first 100 ranks provide more value than before, we hope you enjoy having additional. Okay. Yeah, so the idea is someone can just buy ranks on day 1, and then they can farm armor more quickly for the raid. I don't really think that's that big of a deal. That is kind of a little bit of an oversight, though. I see what you're saying. I don't think light. I don't really care about pinnacles. Like, I don't really think light level is gonna matter at all. They say in the stream that the legend campaign gets you to light. 15% score bonus is, I think, a bigger one. Huh. Can't do anything about it, I guess. For fun, I made a post on Destiny game that essentially tells people that everything they're missing for Kepler is woven into Destination. Like, the replayable missions are pretty much strikes. Yeah, I mean, it's just how it... Look, man. We'll talk about it, but a lot of what Destiny is doing, like, people are so hung up on the fact that we're like not getting strikes or whatever. And it's like Bungie clearly wants to move away from a singular type of activity. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of Vanguard Ops in the game now, mixing strikes and battlegrounds. That's the entire point of Fireteam Ops going into the portal, where they're mixing literally everything. Nightmare hunts, Empire hunts, battlegrounds, strikes, coil, everything is so, you know, Bungie's moving away from like, oh, we have to give them 2 strikes, we have to give them this and that and that. Like, they want there to be a diversity of content that can all fit into the same kind of side of the game or portion of the game. And people, I just like, they're just not getting that. They're not getting that. They're moving away from Lost Sectors. Instead of Lost Sectors, they're doing a lot of things that a solo player can do. Some Lost Sectors, some solo ops. You know, it seems like some of this stuff that we're going to talk about in this stream maybe sort of catered towards that a little bit more. And they're just moving away from like the bucketed activities, and that's going to give them a lot more freedom, because now they can say, hey, instead of Lost Sectors, we're going to make solo activities that are maybe a little bit more interesting, but aren't constrained to what a Lost Sector is. Or, hey, instead of a strike, we're going to make something a little bit more interesting that isn't, like, I think Savathun's Spire is a great example of something that is, like, definitely a ton more interesting than what a strike is, but fits into that sort of activity model, right? So it's clear to me, and it's clear to people who take 10 seconds to think about it, that that's where they're going. But I think people are really getting caught up on the fact that, like, oh, we're not getting strikes or whatever. You know what I mean? So, the streamer that banned me is salty. We aren't getting PvP maps in DLCs. I think, look, that is a valid complaint, valid concern. 100% fair. I think it is unreasonable to say that you hate Edge of Fate, or that you think Edge of Fate's worse than like any other DLC because of that fact, because no other DLC came with Final Shape came with 3 or whatever. Or it actually came before Final Shape, but like we haven't gotten PvP maps with a DLC in like literally 5 years, right? So it's like, it's all right to be disappointed. I don't necessarily think that's a knock on the DLC when comparing it to other DLCs, but we should still get PvP maps. 1 second, I've got to make YouTube chat a little bigger. It's pretty small. I'm good on bold now, but I have a great head for it. Hey, well, I'm glad you're taking it in stride, Miss Punisher, and I hope everything is going well with you. I'm glad to see that you're in pretty good spirits, though. That's great. You should look at the Paving the Way to Frontiers article, because a lot of people are forgetting Bungie told us that strikes are not paid content anymore. Oh, no shot? I don't even fucking remember this. It was almost a goddamn year ago. Oh my, they told us this shit a year ago? Fuck me, I'm getting old. Ladies and gents, I'm getting old. Yo, Buzzkiller! Killa, thank you for the prime, my friend. I think the fear that people have is that it doesn't have a traditional season, maybe. I don't get it, because the only tip we have this smaller because they said so. They also, like, never talk about seasons this early. I would say, if we want to worry about how much content is in the season, a good time to do that is in, well, really the week after the expansion launches. Most of the time, if they tell us about a season at all, it's the week before. It's not uncommon for it to be the day of or a week after the expansion launches. Do you think that they're removing armor mods with the reset of Guardian ranks? I fucking hope not, dude. That was the worst part of the stream when they brought up Guardian ranks. Get fucking rid of them. My issue is that they said this would be Rise of Iron size DLC, but Rise of Iron also had multiple exotic weapons and armor. Also, new abilities or aspects is pathetic for an expansion. Rise of Iron didn't have any new abilities or expansion aspects. But also, it's just like, I mean, they say here it's apples and oranges, but also, like, from what I've seen of this campaign, it's like twice as long as the Rise of Iron campaign. They say it's a similar size. Kepler's a similar size to the plague lands. I think that's wrong. I think Kepler is much larger, unless I'm just forgetting a part of the plague lands. Let me look up let me look up a map of the plague lands. Map of the plague lands. Oh, Destiny. That's important. Yeah, I mean Kepler's definitely bigger than this. 100%. Not even no fucking. Wait. Is there not where's the how do I zoom in on the plague lands there? Does the plague lands had like shit on it, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I mean it's not even fucking close, man. It's literally not even fucking close. Kepler's two or three. Was the plague lands? This is the wall. It was like the wall, and then you had the icy crate side, and then you had like the giant castle side, right? That was it. Was that all of? Was that all that the plague lands was? It's been so fucking long. Rise of Iron did not have new supers, no. Milo had a massive rant about an hour ago about haters and how the one big thing holding Destiny back are the jaded people constantly ending the game. Oh, do you have a clip or a timestamp? It's twice as long because it's filler missions. What does that even mean? Define a filler mission, please. How does... This is like the same sort of argument where people are like, oh, it's artificial difficulty or it's artificial grinding. Like, it's a fucking video game. It's all filler. The entire point of a video game is to fill that nagging void in our lives until we die, okay? It's all filler. It's all filler. That's what a video game is, bro. Just like, I just don't understand. I just don't, like, there's never any, like, you just say words. You just say words. Fuck, it's hot. You guys got me crashing out. We're fucking 10 minutes in the stream. Question, is power gonna go back to how it was pre-final shapes or not forced 500 for activities? I have literally no idea. I think some activities are still probably gonna be forced under. Like, it sounds like the legendary campaign, you're still forced. Strikes, or not strikes, raids, they're probably not gonna change, but like, no, I'm done with Destiny 2 after this reveal. Tired of creators glazing the subpar expansion. Yeah, but like if you have a fucking eyeball, bro, like just a singular eyeball or like a text-to-speech, you'll understand, Jack, that, for instance, I have not glazed this DLC. I've told people that, hey, maybe you should like stop complaining about shit that doesn't exist when there's plenty of things to actually be worried about. And I've made videos and I've done streams specifically talking about the things I'm worried about in this DLC. That's telling you to like use the brain you were born with is not glazing. It's just telling you to shut the fuck up. That's it. That's literally it. You know what I mean? Let me turn this fucking air conditioner on. It's just like, just because you're like slow, you know what I mean? Why do you have to make that our problem? You know what I mean? I can say, hey, you aren't making any sense. And that's not defending, that's just calling you wrong. It's just crazy. I just don't understand it, man. Anyways, let's watch this fucking, oh yeah, wait, what did they say here? Yeah, and this, we will, look, I mean, they literally confirm right here, right? They confirm right here there will be content. There will be seasonal content. Now, what does that look like past, like, the portal stuff? I'm not really sure. And I think that's, you know, yet to be seen. But I think they're, want to return to mystery. It's actually, like, a really good thing. Maybe we watch the stream and we reread this for, like, context? Or do we reread this first? I just want to skim it. Starting next year, instead of one big expansion, We're going to deliver 2 medium-sized expansions, one every 6 months. Each of these will depart from one-shot campaign structure we've been using essentially since Shadowkeep. Isocross made a really good point. Well, someone clip that sentence. That Edge of Fate is a quality of life update, and Renegade. I'm just joking. I love Cross. And Renegades might be more content driven. That seems kind of copium, to be honest. But once again, this is a tweet I made on Twitter. Let's do this thought experiment. Everyone, I'm gonna record this. Everyone, put your thought experiment hat on, okay? Opening Twitter on fucking without loading it first is crazy work, by the way. Okay, this is yes. So someone another fucking brain dead tweet. Glazing never stops. I don't see what here costs $40. He also put the $sign in the wrong place. And I replied, look, man, I don't really care if you buy this expansion or not. And I don't. You know, so many people are like, oh, it's not worth $40. It's not worth we're getting more free content than ever. Just play the free content. Or don't play Destiny. I am not your mom. I'm not your dad. I'm probably not your dad. I'm definitely not your uncle. And honestly, I don't give a fuck at all, okay? Don't play the game. Only play the free stuff. Buy the expansion. I just don't care. It's your life, okay? Just leave me alone. But I do want to do a thought experiment here. If this DLC is not worth $40, what made Witch Queen worth $40? Because if you list, I want lists in chat. I want lists in chat of what made Witch Queen worth $40 to you. Because if you list out what the actual paid content was in Witch Queen, it's not that much different than what we're getting. It's not. The main difference between the content that we got in Witch Queen and the content that we're getting in Edge of Fate, the main difference is like maybe a couple extra exotics in Witch Queen and 2 strikes. But also, then you can say, well, Edge of Fate is coming with, Witch Queen only had Wellspring as an activity, destination activity. Well, we already know, because of today's stream, that Kepler has 2 destination activities. Okay. You might say, oh, Witch Queen had 3 lost sectors. That's totally valid. If that's the thing that sectors, or that separates it, we know that instead of lost sectors this time around, they put that work into free portal activities. You don't have to pay for that. But, that's like, okay, that is a great point. That is something that we got in Witch Queen when we paid for it, but we're no longer getting when we're paying for it now. In that price mostly covers the campaign, which, having seen the breakdown of the Edge of Fate campaign, it is similar size or longer than the Witch Queen campaign. You get the destination. Having played on Kepler and seen the map of Kepler, it is a similar size, if not bigger, than the Throne World. You get the raid. Well, hey, we actually get a raid. Fun fact with Edge of Fate, we get a raid. We also get the epic version of the raid, which might have extra mechanics, an extra encounter, extra loot. We don't really know yet. They confirmed today that the epic raid is not only a difficulty change, it is an extension of the story of the raid, a continuation of the story. So, I mean, that's a lot deeper than a Master Raid, which is all you got with Witch Queen. Witch Queen didn't come with any extra abilities. People are going to say the 3.0 subclasses, but the 3.0 subclasses were free. People are going to say crafting. Crafting was free. Glaives, okay, fine. You can have a glaive. Although there are free glaives in the game. We're getting a crossbow with Edge of Fate. If you look at the size of the DLCs in terms of what actually comes with that price tag, it's not that much different. It's genuinely not that much different. Jack Flathers, here I'm going to show this on stream for editing purposes. Jack Flathers says, Witch Queen came with a good story, strikes, a clear sense of direction. Instead, we're getting this because Portal has rehashed content with mods. Useless dev time, to be honest. So, in Witch Queen, how did we grind our light in Witch Queen? You did the legendary campaign that brought you up to the soft floor, and then you had to play new content. Psych, you played old content. I grinded for Witch Queen. I, on the launch of Witch Queen, spent many hours on the moon flattening my light level during Witch Queen. You had to do Nightfalls. What are Nightfalls? Oh, Nightfalls are old content. That's crazy. You had to do your Pinnacles in Gambit. Oh my god. Gambit's old content. It's no different. What they have done with the portal is instead of bucketing you into grinding light on the moon or in old strikes or in Gambit, they now open it up. You can grind all of this content. Some of it old, some of it new. We haven't even seen the seasonal stuff. There's almost certainly going to be seasonal activities in there. You can spend your time on Kepler grinding light all the way up to the cap if you want to. That's something that did not exist during Witch Queen. So this portal, this wasted dev time, has actually completely expanded what it means to grind light efficiently and how you go about doing that. Because now you can do it doing some of your favorite previous activities, Savathûn Spire, the coil, doing maybe the classic way that you would during Witch Queen, strikes, probably not Gambit, unfortunately. Sorry for the 3 people that like Gambit. Or you can play the new content much more than you could during Witch Queen. What were the other arguments in this? Strikes, fine. If strikes are a legitimate thing. If you think strikes are make that for you, I'm happy for you. I've been kind of anti-strike for a long time, especially since Grandmasters have been made a joke. But if you like strikes, I'm happy for you. You can have that. You can totally have that. And then a clear sense of direction. People have been saying for years that Destiny needs to go back to Destiny 1 mystery. Ever since Shadowkeep and really Beyond Light, it was very clear exactly what was going to happen in Destiny. There's almost no surprise. It was spelled out like a second grader's book. And it was like very obvious what was going to happen and when it was going to happen. We're finally getting some mystery back into the game. I would consider that a bonus for Edge of Fate. I would not consider that a hit on the expansion. But that's going to be personal preference for sure. Kevro, I'm gonna capture this real quick. Strikes have a weird sentimental value because that's what got me into Destiny 1. No strikes and no director feels like they're peeling away from the soul of the game. But what's the difference? So just because something's not called a strike, right? Does that really change that much for you? Savathûn Spire is about the same length of a strike. It is infinitely more like dynamic than a strike because every encounter can have different shit in it. You know what I mean? But it's about the same length. It's about the same structure. It's not a strike. A lot of battlegrounds, same length, same structure, same type of thing as a strike. They're just taking these types of activities and they're consolidating them into more dynamic and kind of a wider range of activities that are strike-likes, right? I would argue a lot of the strikes that they have been putting in the game, Liminality, for instance, are way less like classic strikes than most battlegrounds. Liminality is 3 times the length of some of the strikes we got in Vanilla Destiny 2. It is way closer to something like Coil in terms of length and you know, the kind of depth of experience than something like the original Lake of Shadows or Will of Thousands, which I know isn't vanilla, but you know what I mean, or an early Destiny 2 strike, right? It's, you know, what is a strike nowadays? We're also getting a lot more archetypes of weapons. Yes, thank you, Code Destroyer. We're getting 4 new archetypes in Edge of Fate. I'm not really sure what the balance there is of free guns to paid. In Witch Queen, I think we literally only got glaives. But, you know, we're getting rocket pulse rifles, we're getting crossbows, we're getting shotgun hand cannon, and the longbow bow. Yeah, so they're expanding loot more meaningfully than they did in something like Witch Queen, where they killed the chase of the game by handing you crafting weapons. Now, I know that's a bonus for some people, but once again, that's a topic for a different discussion. And a rapid fire slug. That's right. We're actually getting more than that. But I'm curious. What else is here? What else is here? Let's see. No, here. No, this is actually a good point by Fiend. Let's see if he's saying this stuff 2 weeks after release. I cannot remember the last DLC I was like significantly playing 2 weeks after release. I said this on Twitter today. For me, actually, the important part of Destiny is usually the seasonal stuff, right? It's the hobby side of the game. It's what you are actually playing for 90% of the year. I don't go and do overthrow anymore. I sure as fuck don't go back and do Wellspring anymore. I can't remember the last time I willingly went back and did a campaign mission. For me, and everyone's different, for me, I play the campaign once, I do whatever title, triumph shit I need to do on a destination, and then I pretty much never touch it again until it's time to like bounty prep or something. So yeah, I will be saying the same stuff in 2 weeks because I'll play the expansion and then it'll run its course just like every other expansion. Yo, Necron, thank you for the sub. CB Gray has a really good point strike side when exclusive loot died in strikes. I don't necessarily agree with that either. I think for me, and this is gonna be personal preference, I think the most interesting strikes ever was probably early on when they added adepts to them. I did more strikes then than ever. That shit was so fun. Like Grandmasters, like adding challenger strikes and then adding unique weapons to farm. I don't know if you count those as strike specifics or not, but some of those early, the first 4 or 5 seasons of GMs were magical, man. But what else? What else? Hey, all my Witch Queen defenders. I think Witch Queen is the best campaign, the best DLC they've ever done. But people who are willing, who didn't complain about the price tag of Witch Queen, what is different? What is different? Please, enlighten me. Please. Those people would be on Twitter? Yeah, well. This is a good one for the video. The campaign / location of Witch Queen had no replay value. The fact that Edge of Fate already has that makes it better. I do really like that they're leaning into that. I like that they are making the replayable missions the shorter ones. I think that is a really good move. Very interested to see. We'll talk about it when we break down the stream here in a little bit, but it seems like they went the Pale Heart route of like a bunch of smaller public events and mini secrets and bosses and stuff, but they're not making it like as overtly obvious as Overthrow. So you just kind of explore in a certain area for a week. I think that's pretty cool. And they're giving it very unique loot to go and farm. And you can get higher tier loot, they said as well. And then you add that on top of the world tiers. I haven't played with this system. I am willing to hear it out because it does sound like it has a lot of really cool replayability. So I'm interested in that. The price tag for the year of content is well over $100. That doesn't sit right with many people. That's false. The price tag for the year of content is $80. $40 for this DLC, $40 for Renegade. You do not have to buy any of the season passes. All the seasonal content is free, and there's no more dungeon pass because the dungeon comes with the expansion. All the events are free. This is by far the most amount of content you have ever gotten in Destiny for free, period. Bar none. Bar absolutely none. You are missing out on the campaign, the raids, the destinations. You get everything else, all of the seasonal stuff for free. It's $80. Nope, it's $125 in Canada plus tax. Dog, you can't use conversion. I can't be like, oh, it's 20,000 yen. How could Bungie make this $20,000? You can't say that. That's not how it works. Bungie is a US-based company. This is cheaper than previous years of content, where like I think Witch Queen was actually legitimately $100 or $120, $100 for the entire year. It is $80 USD for the entire year of content, objectively cheaper than any other year and a recent year, and you get more free content. It's just, I just don't understand it, man. Uber says we got 1 raid, 1 good faith reprise raid, and 2 dungeons. Dungeons were a separate price tag, and the other reprise raid was free. I'm not gonna sit here and say that we shouldn't. Here, actually, I'm gonna read. I didn't capture this. Uber says we got 1 raid, 1 good faith reprise raid, and 2 dungeons. I'm asking specifically for things that come with the price tag of Witch Queen. The dungeon pass was a separate charge, so that does not include it in the $40 of Witch Queen, and the reprise raid was free. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's good that we're getting less endgame content, because I don't believe that. That'd be a stupid thing for me to say. But trying to include that stuff in the justification for spending $40 on Witch Queen is very silly, since those either were free or had a separate price tag. Yes, I still wish we got a reprise raid. That has nothing to do with how much Edge of Fate costs. Yes, I wish we still got 2 dungeons, and I would personally pay a separate fee for that. They are actually getting rid of the cost of the dungeon pass, and we're getting less dungeons. But I would pay that if we got an extra dungeon, for sure. I just don't. We can blame Marathon for all of this, though. Oh god, are we back on this? True. There's no, like, I just think that's a silly thing to say. I mean, most of Marathon's team was hired externally. I would say more than likely, instead of blame personally, like, sure, there's a world where they only focus on Destiny and then they go bankrupt or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know, but so for me, I think the bigger culprit is trying to overexpand into 3 IPs instead of 2, incubating 7 or 8 different projects, and none of them making you money, I think is a much larger culprit, personally, but everyone's gonna have their own opinion on that one. Can we all just agree that bringing back a reprised Wrath of the Machine would be an incredible addition to Ashen Iron? Yeah, it fucking would. It 100% would. No one's arguing that. But that shit is probably not easy to do. You know what I mean? I don't think it's as easy as, hey, intern, go remake Wrath of the Machine! I agree. I would love it, though. Trust me and Shrimp can make Wrath of the Machine together. Get on it, Wobby. Get on it. I do think Marathon marketing might have affected the marketing of Destiny. How so? I feel like, if anything, the Destiny marketing affected Marathon marketing, because they started this Destiny couch stream stuff well before Marathon was announced the second time, like really announced. And then they tried to take the Destiny approach with Marathon, which is a fucking horrible idea, and it didn't work. So in terms of marketing, I actually think it had the inverse effect. What's up, Fuzzy? Yo, Hammy, thank you for the 32 months of Mega Chicken. Thank you very much. When Bungie made Halo, it was just Halo. Look how that turned out. If Bungie were to turn around and release Halo 1, or like the Marathon equivalent for Halo 1 today, they would be laughed out of whatever convention center or whatever city they were in. If you release a single player game that takes 3 hours max to beat today with a side PvP mode that's not Call of Duty, and half of the maps are the same room repeated over and over and over and over again, you are getting fucking obliterated. Source: Halo Infinite. I rest my case. Street Shadow, thank you for the super chat. Your point is correct. Stretching Bungie into so many different incubation projects at once is very costly. Fun fact, making a new game is all just an expense until you ship your game. Yep. I mean, it's not, like, obviously I don't work in game development, but I do work in research, right? And it's very similar in chemistry, in materials, and industry. You generally, the thought is that you fund 10 projects and one will bang. Hopefully you want about a 10% success rate. One will bang and cover the cost of all of the other ones and everything else. The main problem with Bungie's model that they did is everything was an incubation and nothing made them money, and Destiny was losing money. So it was, what's paying for anything? Nothing. Here comes the IMPHD. It's first off, it's IMPH, and second off, yes, excuse me for using my real life world lived experience at a company much larger than Bungie to explain my interpretation of what went wrong. Yes, sorry. Next time I'll just like read someone on Reddit instead of using my own experience. My bad. Sorry, buddy. IMPH. I will pay them to get rid of the portal idea. What's wrong with the portal idea? Just post on Reddit and read your own comment. True. It is emotionally, oh, this is so, I love this. It is emotionally disingenuous to yourself and community to call this a good stream. I won't say shill, but come on, man. It's just not very good. Echo chambers do nothing to help. Echo chamber, right? Right? Echo chamber. Net neutral video. Positive video. Very overtly negative video. About half and half negative here. I wish I had more time to bring critical things here. Positive video. All overtly negative answers here. Pretty good, pretty good. No, these aren't really about Destiny. My point being, if you think I exist in an echo chamber, if you think my content is only solely shill or positive, you have no fucking idea what you were talking about. Your ignorance on my position on something, when I make it overtly public, every thought I have about Destiny exists on YouTube, on Twitch, or on Twitter. And your inability to either comprehend or do research should not be my problem. Yet you fucking idiots are constantly making it my problem. And it is really fucking annoying, bro. Just watch or read or go away. It's just like, I don't know what to fucking tell you, man. When you graduate high school and you go to do something with your life, if like this inability to comprehend basic like fucking words is really gonna hurt your prospects to do anything. It's just, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's crazy. The percentage of the Destiny like population that cannot read is fucking insane. It's crazy, bro. Fucking ask Grok. God damn it, bro. Grok, how to read? Like, fuck, man. Jesus Christ. Skara, how do you feel about the fact negativity does better for your videos? I was actually really proud of the Destiny community on this one. I made the positive and negative videos, the analogs, and they did about the same. Like, obviously the negative one did better, 27k versus 21k. As the cross reacted to the negative one, so that probably drove some stuff to it. But like, honestly, a lot fucking closer than I expected, to be completely honest. So Croc, is this real? It's just insane, man. I'm actually more knowledgeable about your opinions than you. Yeah, like, on fucking God, bro. Anyways, that's kind of this is just a question I wanted to raise. Like, no one can be, and this will be open. This question will be open for the rest of the stream. I do want to make a short video kind of covering this, but like, genuinely, I do not care if you buy the expansion, but I do just want someone to answer the fucking question in a way that makes sense. What made Witch Queen worth $40 in terms of paid content that actually came with that price tag that Edge of Fate does not have? And the only answer so far, a couple of strikes. Anari, thank you for the sub, my friend. How you doing? All right, let's watch this stream. You guys got me fucking crashing out. God damn it. Oh, does someone have Vertigo? Do you have that Milo clip? You're. How's this audio? It's gonna be bad. Oh, there's so much to break down here, man. Oh, this is a good one. I like this. If Bungie released the Witch Queen today, the community would be pissed. We'd be saying stuff like, this is just Witch Queen again. You already released this one before. Okay, never. I didn't expect that to be a joke. I thought that was going to be a good point. Imagine they just put out the same DLC again. That would actually be so funny. That's a good one. That's a fucking good one, dude. Oh my fuck. It's hard to find a clip because there's like a 30-minute conversation back and forth with his chat, but the general sentiment was that he was tired of caveating obvious problems anytime he talked positively about the game. Thinks it's the worst thing for new players. On God, bro. On God. I think the issue is that the reveal streams have done nothing. We're pretending it's like it's final shape quality. Who in the fuck is pretending like it's final shape quality, Jack? Jack, the demon voices in your head are not real life, buddy. They make medicine for that. Not a single soul on this goddamn planet has said this is Edge of Fate quality. Bungie themselves has said overtly it is not Edge of Fate quality. They literally led with that a year before they started teasing or like revealing the expansion. Bungie literally led with, this will be like Rise of Iron or Shadowkeep size. If Bungie wanted you to believe it was final shape quality, do you think they would have mentioned the fucking Shadowkeep expansion? Bro? You're out of your goddamn mind. It's insane. That was the first thing they said about this expansion. Yo, Scary, you got me confused. You said you didn't know if there was going to be a destination activity, but Cross confirmed today that he played it. What? And said it was the best activity he's ever played? That's gotta be bait. Cross wasn't even there, bro. That's gotta be bait. That's bait. People are mad these creators never truly stop the glaze because they get paid to do this. I literally don't get paid to do this, man. My tax returns are public, buddy. Like fucking Jesus. He for real said that? He did say that? What? Cross wasn't even there, bro. There might have been an earlier event, I guess, where they played it. We did not play it at my event. Cross was not at my event, and we did not play it. Well, shit. If Cross really liked it that much, how come no one ever... You know how much... Cross has made like 40 times more money from Bungie than I have. No one ever fucking calls him a shill. What the fuck's happening here, man? I have made less than 2 weeks of my actual job's pay total, combined, from my Bungie, like, trips. Including Marathon. Marathon and Destiny. I have made less than 2 weeks of my normal income. Total. This guy's been flying to Bungie for 10 years! Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Alright, anyways, we'll watch this. I don't know about Dado, but I don't know about Cross, but Dado also said on stream he couldn't talk about the activities on Kepler. Oh, really? Okay, well, shit. Dad don't never talk to me about it either. Now I'm sad. Anyways. Cross is clearly just more handsome. All right. I could pull. I swear to God, dude. I have no doubt in my mind. If Cross and I did a one-on-one competition to see who could pull more moms, I would win. It's not even fucking close, bro. My man's washed up. My man's washed up, and his definition of Riz is like a 12-year-old's definition of Riz, dog. I would walk home with, he would take home maybe a couple numbers. I would be bringing home a dozen moms, okay? Don't fucking talk to me about him being more handsome. Fucking. He's got no game. One thing I noticed in this trailer, by the way. This says K9, but only 9. 9 is lit up. Also, moon sign. Might be important. Might be a 9 on the moon. Anyways. Fun detail. Oh my god, I am a shill. They put Scarrow 9 in the trailer, bro. With an ADTR shirt? Dog. Oh my god. Have you ever been to a metal concert? You know how many fucking moms there are in metal? Especially 80, like radio metal? Oh my god, bro. Everyone who thought ADTR was cool when they were in their prime, they're fucking 30, 35, 40 now, bro. They're all divorced. They've got deadbeat ex-husbands. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, wearing an ADTR shirt. It wouldn't even be close. Oh my god, sleep token moms? Oh, it would be, it's free. It's the freest shit ever. Yeah, what's Cross is gonna bring up some fucking Keith Urban or some shit, bro. He's gonna get STDs from that shit. Just from listening to that music. Fuck no. This trailer's so good.
Kepler. You've never been there. And you know every inch.
I actually have.
It's the farthest either of us have been from home. In distance or in time. You're gonna get a call. An invitation only you can answer. And you'll say yes.
I think this is Lodi talking to his past self.
So you would never say no. Choice is real. And every choice you make will lead you here.
Bungie's trailer team's so fucking good, bro. Jesus.
To who you're supposed to be. Eyes up, weapon.
Yeah, I can turn it up a bit. That's so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
Eyes up, weapon.
Potential raid shot, potential. Sometimes they do fake outs. Potential raid shot. 9 themed raid. Anyone? Potential. Not definitely. Also, this might be raid armor. I have no idea what the fuck that is. In fact, this is all raid. Oh, it's gotta be, right? I think this is them telling us it's raid armor because they have Root of Nightmares and they have Vow of the Disciple. Oh, is this Salvation's Edge armor? Oh, sorry, I've never used that armor before. My bad.
Eyes up, weapon.
Oh! They're fucking cooking! So good. Can't be a fake out. No. So like sometimes they'll do a shot in a trailer, with like 6 guardian. Like the easiest one I remember is in Beyond Light. It's either in the launch trailer or the gameplay trailer.
Peggy 16.
Peggy 16.
The light and dark ready themselves for
They show gameplay here.
In darkness, there is only one truth. Death.
Darkness resides within, beckoning you. This is a truth we cannot hide from. And so we must embrace it.
It was like in the middle of the it's like in the middle of Clovis Bray's area. They did bait it. Lightfall's the only one with an actual fake out? No, I mean Beyond Light definitely had an actual fake out. I remember it very vividly. Beyond Light. 6 Guardians trailer. No, I remember it like very explicitly. It had one. It'll take me forever to fucking find it, but they absolutely did it. No. Before the Vidoc. Before the Vidoc. In one of the first trailers. Is this it? Simger does not appear to have anything on it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways.
Awesome. Hello, welcome to Bungie. Welcome back for our second live stream for The Edge of Fate. What you just saw was our launch trailer. We are 14 days away from launch.
That's crazy.
2 weeks. Pretty insane. Today we're going to be talking about what activities are on Kepler. What can you expect from world tiers as you're going through for replayability?
Oh, volume's so low?
And to introduce that, we actually...
Here. It could just be a different area in the campaign, though, Fatebringer. Like, I'm not gonna die on the hill that it's not the raid. It could be, but it could always be a fake out. It could just be architecture they added for somewhere else.
actually have a wonderful human being on the couch next to me.
Why is my headset not working?
I introduce myself? My name's Dylan. Hi. Your name is Robbie. Hello.
Is the audio better?
Let's actually get a real introduction for you. How you doing?
Hey, Dylan. It's great to be here. I'm the assistant game director for Destiny 2, and I focus on working with the broad Destiny 2 team and creating this.
I could turn it up more if you need.
And charting a new course to some new frontiers here with the Edge of Fate.
Yeah, Nutty's my new hero.
Yeah,
Crazy.
right?
It's awesome. Yeah.
I keep telling folks on the team, it's like, we got 14 days, and they're like, wait, huh? It's already here? So today we're going to be looking at Kepler. Can you give us a quick overview? What are we going to be looking at?
Yeah, so we're going to be looking at some of the free roam experience on Kepler, and we're also going to be taking a sneak peek at the end of one of our campaign missions that is replayable in the post game.
It's like fucking storming outside. So if stream ends, it's because we got hit by lightning or something.
Of the Kepler experience. We're also going to be talking here about our world tiers a little bit, which we've talked a little bit about in the stream, and we're going to talk about a lot more here today. And so what we're showing on screen right now is the world tier difficulty selector that's on the...
I'm pretty excited for this, to be honest. The fact that like the whole customizable difficulty thing is so nice, and people are going to bitch about it still. It's like, I know people are going to be like, oh, the game's already too hard. It's like, well, then just pick the easier mode. You see how Like my brother in light, you pick what mode you're on. You know what I mean? For those of us who like difficult content, I think this is very exciting. And we'll see. I'm sure there will be activities where it's like better executed or it feels better or whatever. But I like that they're doing this with like every aspect of the game. I think that's really cool. So we'll see.
Destination. And so right now we're in the Fabled difficulty, and so Brave and Legendary, you can play through the campaign, you can play through the main quest, the story of the release, and Brave or Legendary, doesn't matter. But after you do that, you're going to unlock Fabled and Mythic difficulties. Now, the difference here, though, is with these difficulties, power is fully enabled. And so that means when you step out of either Brave or Legendary, you're going to probably be able to do Fabled. Most people will be able to do Fabled. Some people might need a Fireteam, but if you want to play Mythic, you're really going to have to climb power. And
it's interesting. It's interesting that you're really going to have to climb power for 200 light, by the way. I was under the assumption that Legendary, would put you at like 220. But it seems like Legendary will put you around 150. So, very interesting there.
really escalates, and then the gear gets
yeah.
better. And so
well, they said that if you do the legendary campaign, you'll be at light for the raid. So I assume around 150.
For that, you know, that tier 2+, 3, 4 loot, right? You're going to be needing to play and Fabled Mythic to find that. Those higher tier loot, yeah.
Yeah, let's get some combat going. Really quick, what is the state of our fire team? You were mentioning we're in Fabled, so this is going to be after they've already done their first playthrough.
Yeah, so this fire team has played the legendary campaign. Right now, they are inside of the Gorge, which is one of our 4 regions of Kepler, and they are in free roam right now. And
I'm just exhausted. I feel like everything I've worked towards doesn't matter anymore. It makes me feel pretty empty. Just the genre, man. Like I'm confused why people feel like that now. Where you haven't felt like that previously. You know what I mean? It's like, did you feel like that going from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2? Did you feel like that with Forsaken? Did you feel like that did you feel like that with Beyond Light? Like, why now? And it's weird because this is probably the softest version of like sunsetting that they've ever done. Your weapons are still going to be fucking fucked for so long. And it's I feel like people are acting like this is the hardest sunset we've ever had, when in reality it is like the softest sunset we've ever had. It's very strange.
Encounters. And so the other thing I should call
What's
out
up,
here is within these free roam encounters, there are reasons to basically go back through the destination using your new abilities in new ways. And so, sorry, can you ask me that question one more time? Like, I feel like I answered it, but then I segued into something else.
I said, what state is our fire team in? Post-campaign?
Yeah. We're post-campaign. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, we're hunting higher tier loot and gear here on the destination, and they're also
like people glaze like Taken King all the time. That shit hard fucking sunset everything. People glaze Rise of Iron all the time. That shit hard sunset everything.
As part of the
you know what I mean? You can use all your shit when this launches. You will still be using all your shit when this launches. Or at least a lot of your shit.
But also these world quests unlock some additional loot in the game as well. So specifically the Mythic quest that's associated with that world tier unlocks a variant armor set for the Kepler armor.
This is interesting because we did not see this. In the Kepler armor set, perks were kind of mid.
As you're playing through the campaign
and
throughout the
so
experience,
he says they have a unique.
There's a 2 and 4 set piece bonus on the Kepler armor set. Once you complete that Mythic world tier quest, you unlock a variant of that has a different set bonus and a unique shape.
So that's really cool. That has a different set bonus. So hey, an alternate reason to keep grinding this content past normal. Like, that's cool. That's really cool. I think objectively one of the biggest problems of Destiny, especially expansion content over the last 10 years, is people like me who you do the campaign once and then you have no reason to ever go interact with that shit again. So anything that Bungie can do to get you to continually interact with this space and this content is a better use of their developer resources and makes people feel better long-term, in my opinion, about this content, because you know you're actually involving yourself with it more. There was like no reason to stay on Neomuna past day 1.
On it as well.
Awesome. Yeah, and for folks that you didn't tune in last week or you haven't heard about gear tiers, set bonuses, we have a full blog article that went live last week. Go ahead, visit that, check it out. So when we're looking at this this activity, this is going to be a free roam mission, right?
Yes.
And these take place in places that are regions on the destination.
Yes.
Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so I talked about it a little bit before, but this
I
is
love the idea
board,
of
and
unique
so the
bans
devs
as
have
well. Even if
actually
it's
put a
something
big
as simple as, hey, you can only kill
lockdown
these guys
on
using
this
Matter's
entire
Spark.
region,
Or break
outside
their
of
shields.
Kepler.
I think that's really
the
cool.
Fireteam right now is like basically like breaking through this security lockdown. And so each of these regions feature multiple of these major encounters is kind of what we call them, these free roam encounters. And these are kind of like the scale. Ooh, I just got try to get through that security grid and he did not make it.
Yeah.
Each of these
Yeah,
each of
Banes
these
are
these
infinitely
major
better than
encounters
champions,
we have
100%.
are
Totally
kinda
agree.
like, the size of like roughly like a lost sector, but ultimately they're more complex. They have more mechanics. That you have to use the destination abilities to solve some simple puzzles and encounters inside of them. And generally they have like pretty thick combat, especially on like the Fabled difficulty as well, where we start adding more enemies, tougher enemies, and also there are Banes that are applied.
People are just too attached to the old ways. Like, what do you mean the expansion not having a wellspring-like activities make or break for you? Well, they did kind of say there's going to be an activity like that.
World Tiers 2 that are actually exclusive to Kepler. They were built specifically for this content.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then as you're going through these sorts of free roam activities and exploring Kepler, what other like side objectives or objectives can pop up?
Yeah, so the way we kind of are thinking about this, right? Like you're a lot of this outside of doing the seal, the triumphs, and things like that, and mysteries and secrets, which we can talk about here in a minute, a little bit more, is like it's about gear pursuit, right? It's about like earning that higher tier gear, chasing power, and so the way we constructed these regions, there's these free roam major encounters.
This is such a
there's
cool
tougher
idea.
Enemies that appear. There's HVTs that pop up. There's destination materials to loot, and there's this material called a faded cipher as well. And so you're
one thing that Bungie's really doing, and you can see this so much, and I think this is really going to benefit the people who play a ton of Destiny, is these, instead of like just waiting for like Tuesday for things to change, there's going to be differences every day. And, you know, it's just like, it's a different focused area every day. To think different activities in the portal have different focuses every day. Some weeks you're going to have, they'll talk about this in a little bit, like special modifiers for certain aspects of the portal, like where Suros weapons do more damage for this week. You have Arms Week, which is a weekly rotating thing. You have Heavy Metal, which is a weekly rotating thing. They're playing so much more into this, hey, there's going to be a bunch of these small burst events that don't only get you excited on like a random Tuesday. It might be a random fucking Saturday. It might be a random fucking Wednesday. And like, it's breaking the cadence of Destiny, and it's giving you a lot of smaller grinds that make like your day-to-day in Destiny a lot different, a lot more different, a lot more dynamic. And I think that's going to help like the longevity in a season where an act launches and all you have to do is let's say in fucking Revenant, all you had to do for the first act, Onslaught Salvation. All right, I'll log in and I'll farm that. All right, I'll log on and I'll farm that. I'll log on. And it's just that for weeks and weeks and weeks. And nothing changes. This is going to keep it way more dynamic. You're doing something different every day. You're encouraged to play a different activity every day. You're encouraged to go to a different part of Kepler every day. You're encouraged to use different weapons every day. That, for people like me that play this game so much. Hey, kitty. That is going to be huge. It's going to be so good. Kitty. Come over here. Very cool.
Combining destination materials that you get from basically doing almost anything inside of the region alongside faded ciphers.
Hey, kitty. You wanted me out for stream? Why? She's just licking my desk. That's kind of weird. What are you doing? All right.
In order to be able to purchase specific items at the destination vendor.
Some will argue it's an increase in FOMO and other annoyances for things like I need X thing for side quest, but the rotation hasn't had X and N days or weeks. It doesn't seem like anything's going to be like that important or like tied to quests like that. But I just like, so you know what I mean? If something rotates multiple times a season, multiple times a month, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Kitty, say hi. Say hi to chat. Hi, chat. What are you meowing about? All right, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. I'll let you go. I'll let you go. Does the endless grind not exhaust you? Of life? No. I just keep pushing, bruh. Oh, of Destiny? No. But if it does exhaust you, then just go play something else. There's nothing wrong with that. I think everyone wants me to like convince you to play Destiny or justify the time that I or you spend in Destiny. Guys, we're all just killing time until we fucking die, okay? That's it. If you want to play the game, play the game. If you don't want to play the game, don't play the fucking game. It's not that deep. That's it. That's it. If you don't think that if this doesn't entice you, well, I've got great news for you. There are 752 other amazing games that have come out this year. Go play them. And it doesn't even have to be this year. I guarantee you haven't played every video game that's ever existed. You know what I mean? Go play something else. It's fine. It is not my responsibility to convince you to play this, okay? But please don't make it my problem when you don't want to play this. And that's just it. You know what I mean? If I'm having a good time and you're not, why are you making me the bad guy? Why are you making me justify that? Just, like, you come into my house, you come into my stream, and you start, like, throwing all these accusations, you start throwing these requests or demands, or insults or whatever. And it's like, why you gotta make it our problem? If you don't enjoy this, go somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's fine. That's it. Scaro, people want to play the game, the content just prevents them. You are no older than 12 years old.
Altar of relativity.
Because you're encouraging them to keep dropping trash, dog. I have made so many negative videos about this. I fucking flew to Bungie and I told them I talked to Robbie Stevens for hours about things I don't like about the game. I straight up told him, solo ops, I don't think they're very good. To him! Don't talk to me about encouraging them to keep dropping trash, because you fuckers complain about everything. So when they finally do something good in the game, they have no idea they've done something good, because to you it is a crime equivalent to adultery and murder to tell Bungie they did something good. Do not fucking talk to me about encouraging them to keep dropping trash. It's like you're a fucking scourge on humanity, bro. Get out of here. No, you're banned. Fuck you. Goodbye. Go see a therapist.
A lot of
Kepler.
names and words.
Lots of
and
proper
yeah,
nouns.
If
Yeah.
you didn't catch this, I know there are going to be breakdowns. We'll have a recap in the TWID, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, and so like what's cool about this is that in the post game, like there's a focus that we created, and so basically through the vendor you can go and look at it and be like, okay, today's focus is
Meat riding. The only meat I'm riding is your fucking mom's, bro. Because she gave me $20, and if your mom wants to hit it from behind for $20, I'll let her, bro. Okay? I wonder if you share some of those genes too.
the Gorge, which
Fuck
the
outta
Fireteam
here.
is looking at today. Most of the materials that you're earning here can be used to purchase gear, or you can convert your other materials you might have from other regions in order to convert it into the Gorge materials to buy stuff.
Fucking
Every day it's going to shift. That daily focus is going to shift. And so a little bit later in the stream, we're going to be seeing a part of Exile's Accord, which we've also some of our content
You're soft
creators
just like
and
Dado. Dado's skin routine is way better than mine. I've got very rough hands.
influencers showed as well, and some of their content parts of it. But basically, of the 4 major regions, the daily focus will shift day over day to basically kind of change what you're focused on.
Yes, I agree. I agree. DMG has been doing a great job in the hot chair. He's keeping things moving along, not very rambly, very clear, concise. He's been killing it.
what gets you access to that direct purchase loot.
Yeah, and since we're on the topic of rewards, you were talking about like the currencies and the vendor.
Yeah.
You had mentioned before the stream, actually, there's a new form of attunement for the destination as well.
Yeah, so something that was really important to us was like it just, we want to make playing what we call like the action game, like actually experiencing free roam like this and the mission content, like when you earn that piece of loot on
This guy's
Kepler,
getting fucking
as you're
ran right
completing
now.
these activities and just got nuked.
No, I'm so happy that
yeah.
they're dying because they were like, this won't be too hard. And it's like, oh, world tiers? Let's introduce them at a higher difficulty, shall we?
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead.
No, exactly. Yes, this is Fable pushing back a little bit. They're having to think about what they do, and they just used actually matter morph in order to open up a pathway to get around this Vex grid that opened up in the middle of the encounter. But anyway, we were talking specifically, I'm sorry, remind me.
Attunement.
Attunement, thank you. Yeah, so basically, you're going to be able to attune at the vendor a specific piece of gear, armor, or weapon, and any drop on Kepler that drops a piece of armor.
I really love the idea. Pale Heart started to do this a little bit, but the idea of like unique farmable things from a destination, very cool. Very cool. I don't think you realize most of the criticism comes from a place of passion. There is a big difference. Jack, I'm going to tell you, let's talk, Jack. Let's talk. I'm going to tell you something your guidance counselor isn't going to tell you, okay, buddy? It's totally fine. It's summer. You probably can't even go see your guidance counselor, okay? What is more important, or equally as important to criticism, is how you convey criticism. If you just whine about everything in an incoherent, babbling way, and you're just bitching about everything, then your criticism is invalid. There's absolutely no useful or workable information that can be gathered if you're sitting here pissing yourself, just screaming incoherently. And you're complaining, and especially if you're doing it about absolutely everything. Okay, buddy? Okay? Okay? It is very important that you realize that you are talking to human beings. And if Robbie Stevens thinks you are a fucking idiot that doesn't know, like, none of your, like, you don't know how to give feedback, then he's going to ignore everything you have to say. Period. Because you are talking to humans. Okay? Do we get that? So you need to give your feedback in a respectful, concise, actionable way. Period. Or else you're going to get backhanded, locked in the McDonald's freezer, and then you'll never get paid for anything in your life. And that's it, bro. Okay? Respectful, concise, clear. You don't, and don't get me wrong, you can have criticisms. Life would be bad. Consumerism would be bad without the ability to give criticism. You need to do that. But just don't be a fucking idiot about it. And yeah, maybe that was a little bit of insight to when I was a shithead teenager and I mouthed off to my manager and I might have gotten locked in the McDonald's freezer for a little extra long, okay? Don't be like me! Don't be like old me. Be like new me. I think you can directly trace the worst, like, most annoying parts of my life directly back to Elon Musk buying Twitter. And that really pisses me the fuck off. That really pisses me the fuck off, bro. Just had to leave it alone.
Or weapon will have a chance to be that gear. We just wanted to make sure that as you're playing through the destination, as like you're carving your own path, you're figuring out your own farm routes inside of each of these 4 regions each day of the week. We wanted to make sure that, like, hey, if you're looking for the giver, that auto rifle.
I hope I'm not going through a midlife crisis. I'm only 27.
With the on Kepler,
Did I see a video about a rocket pulse? What do you mean?
Anytime a piece of loot drops.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had mentioned just a minute ago about secrets and the depth of the destination. I mean, I'd love to hear, go ahead and expand on that.
Yeah, so, like, it's funny with, like, secrets and mysteries. Like,
Ethan. The not toxic people they're over on Twitch. If you guys want a little inkling, if you want fewer chuds in chat, Twitch. I promise you.
Not too much.
No spoilers, right?
Wait, what does Elon buying Twitter have to do with anything? If you have to ask that, kidney, I'm sorry. Either you are or you are blissfully ignorant, or you're part of the problem. There's no in between. There's no in between.
Yeah.
But I think like the thing to scratch at here and poke at here is right is like
They made a separate
we
video
talked
on
about the
Pulse? Oh,
destination
where?
a few times. And so with the world tiers and the fabled and mythic difficulties throughout the destination, there are secrets and mysteries, like basically all these little alcoves, these little locations, these side paths, these hidden rooms, all throughout the destination that you can go and discover.
And I don't know if he
there's a
says
lot-
this in the stream, I don't remember, but he told us that there are some secrets in areas that are only available at the higher difficulties. So you're gonna have to go back in on whatever what did they call the higher two difficulties, mythic or big dickus or whatever. You're gonna have to go back in on those to get the secrets. Oh, I'm gonna get fucking rickrolled. Yep. I knew as soon as I clicked that, lab, as soon as I fucking clicked that, I knew exactly my mistake. I like literally hit the button and I was like, oh fuck, I fucked up.
available just
Elon has nothing to do with your life. If you honestly believe that okay.
within the
I'm a
campaign
full-time
experience,
Twitch streamer
like,
now. In terms of not like I'm not leaving my job, I'm leaving YouTube.
go through the campaign and take it like really slow.
Biggest
and
dickus
as
mode,
your
yeah, that's the
abilities
hardest
look around, You're
difficulty.
going to find a lot of mysteries to solve, but we also wanted to make sure that in those higher world tiers in Fabled and Mythic, that it felt like this expansion.
Genuinely though, I'm with him. From your point of view, what bad things happen on Twitter? Well, there's a lot more racism and porn on my feed, okay? And I did not ask for any of that. But people are a lot more forthcoming about just hate in general. Usually that manifests through sexism or racism or whatever. It's all over the place. People are a lot more forward on the internet than they ever have been. They feel a lot more comfortable in that sort of space now. It's disgusting. B, more of the AI push. People are absolutely brain dead, can't think about anything. And C, the normalization of bot culture as well. All three and then not even including like when he bought his way into like, politics as well.
Expansion of that content that you have, and it's basically like, hey, you have even more abilities than ever. You can now peel back the onion of this world to discover what's at the core of it. And so we really wanted to make sure that it felt like there was
Grok, is
just
this a
more and
good
more to
take?
dive into the more you unlocked inside of the post game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So in our rehearsals,
Crocs,
we
at
never
Crocs.
managed to get this perfect timing, but we have perfect timing. I would love to shift to campaign. We're going to be taking you about midway through campaign
On
mission.
another note, as a bounty prep guy, are you stockpiling spoils and conquest for the new raid? Yeah, I'm not too bothered about it. I mean, we haven't, like, I'm getting them. I'm taking the spoil bus whenever I can and all that, but it's just like, spoils haven't mattered for a new raid in so fucking long. I'm not really too concerned. Plus, I won't really care about most of the raid loot until tier 5. So it's like, you won't be able to get that right away anyways.
Here, a quick note for the audience. If you're avoiding spoilers, we have disabled our VO. We have disabled our subtitles. We're trying to keep this so you are discovering the story as it comes.
Okay, so free speech. Once again, if your idea of free speech is being like openly, like I said, like racist or sexist or homophobic or transphobic, you're just a bad person. And yes, that is what I mean then, yeah.
Comes out with the Edge of Fate and our new saga. So as they're getting,
I feel like I shouldn't have to
that,
explain this position because I would hope that this isn't a integral part of a community that I've fostered over 10 years, but it's always a couple.
to ask you just a couple more questions about free roam in the regions.
Yes.
What other things can
No fucking way, Krydar! Let's go! Gifted a sub to Crocs!
happen in regions outside of campaign?
Yeah, so one of the big things that happens inside of these regions are side quests, which we've only talked a little bit about, and these are basically ways that flesh out more of the characters of the world, more of the stories of the people and of the place, and what's happening on Kepler and what's been happening with them before and what might be happening to them in the future. And basically what happens is as you're completing these regions as part of the campaign and you kind of start to unlock.
Bro, this out can't. Wait, me? I'm so confused. I'm Gen Z.
more of them, these side quests will start to become available. And so these side quests are available to you at any time. So again, like I was kind of mentioning earlier, like you can either take it really, really slow and take a really long time to get through everything the release has to offer, or you can just like beeline the main quest.
Where do you think is the best place to find community players who aren't vitriolic and insufferable? Stay away from the Garden of Salvation.
The critical path, and then when you get into the higher level world tiers, all of these side quests are now available to you. As we've been like play testing and closing out the Edge of Fate here, it's been really interesting to watch different developers and people play test for the content. Myself and Blake Battle, one of our executive producers, he and I just like we're just like beelining it, right?
Yeah.
And then we get to the end and we like pop up in that and we're like, look at all these quests to do, while other people like want to take their time and like experience like the full story.
I'm a beeliner and then quester for sure.
Single little piece.
So yeah,
What should you put on your GCX bingo card this year? I don't know. It's a good question. What did you have on it last year? Want to see a puppy? Oh fuck. God damn it! No, I knew that was gonna happen.
We're getting into the campaign right now, and speaking of beelining, we've seen a ton of questions about getting raid race ready. So the raid race is going to be coming out on the Saturday after launch. I believe it's the 19th of July.
Yeah.
What difficulty?
Bro can't handle the heat, so he's gonna ignore YouTube chat now. I mean, you guys are like, what do you want me to say? I can only say racism is bad so many times, streams. Like, I don't know.
play at to get ready for race.
Yeah, so if you want to be power ready for the contest mode race for the Edge of Fate, you're going to want to play the Legendary campaign. And so when you step out of the Legendary campaign, you will be power ready.
Yeah, Phoenix, yeah.
If you're gear ready, that's up to you, right? It's like how far you want
Mac
to go down
Sweet got me dying of laughter. What did Max say? I want to see what Max said. What you got, buddy? Wait, this one? He will continue to glaze Bungie as long as they are lining his pockets. I just did the math, and Bungie sponsorships account for 0.9% of my total revenue so far this year. Ever consider I just like the game? Wait. I need a screenshot from Mac's game. I need a screenshot where Max shows his silver account right now. Surely he shows his inventory here. Oh, show your inventory, coward. Bro, you edit your videos too much, Mac. Fuck me. It's so hard to find things. Max, show your goddamn inventory, bro! This fucking guy. One year ago. I actually watched this one. Bro, no wonder he has so many more subscribers than me, because he edits the shit out of this! That's so infuriating, Mac! Yo, long time hero, thank you for becoming a member, my friend. I need to go back years. This is so important to me right now. Oh my fucking Christ. Wait, does he actually have a channel called Yaptics? Wait, no fucking shot? Bruh, what the fuck? Show me your inventory, coward. Yo, Street Shadow. Thank you for the super chat saying this is Jack moving to Twitch. Wanting to love Destiny doesn't make every meltdown justified. At some point, constant fury stops looking like hair and just starts looking like bitterness. Yep. Long time here. Thank you for the super chat as well. Hello, Scarrow. This is DMG from Bungie with your monthly paycheck. All right. Alrighty, come on. Yes! Wait. Wait. Okay. Wait. I got this. Okay. 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 Keep that there. Oh, I didn't clip it. I didn't even fucking get it. Okay, give me a second. I need the top of his inventory screen. Stop looking at weapons! Okay. Chat, we win these. Chat, we win these. What's up? What's up, Shield? How you doing? Thank you. I did pull up his billion build videos. They're all edited to fucking hell and back. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Destiny, open. I need to screenshot this. Can you discuss the power-enabled comments here in the world tiers portion? For the first two levels, it doesn't matter what level you are, what light level you are, you will always be -5. For the top two tiers, it does matter. You have to be a certain level, and then it will also put you, they're kind of like GMs now. For GMs, you have to be a certain level, but enemies will always be like a certain difficulty above you. Vegas Golden Knights mentioned? Yeah, fuck the Vegas Golden Knights, bro. I just want the Sabres to do good. Is that too much to ask? 14 years of mediocrity would say, yes, it's too much to fucking ask. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, dude. YouTube chat is like, you cannot be serious. No thanks, I have awareness and consciousness. I'm not an NPC that gets programmed. Anyone who ever asks me again what was wrong with Elon Musk buying Twitter, I'm just gonna show him a screenshot of that and be like, people think it's unironically okay to say shit like this, bro. It's like, fuck me. You got a bunch of 12-year-olds running around thinking they're the most clever fuckers on the planet. It's crazy. Okay. Actually, I'll just keep it. This isn't bad. I kind of like that. Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm cooking right now.
that rabbit hole.
And that dovetails into like replayability for the story missions and the campaign missions and how that bakes into world tiers.
Yes,
right?
Getting that higher tier loot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something that was like really important to us when we were thinking about replayability and what like aspiration.
You're just bad at seeing others' POV then? Bro, you literally come into chat and tell people that they can't like the game and that they're unreasonable for liking the game and that they're making everything worse by liking the game. Who can't see other people's POV?
Means within an expansion. We really wanted to change some of the formula. Like we wanted to take some of the formula that we think works well, but also change other pieces of it. And one of the really big goals for us was just giving you more reasons and just easier ways to play just some of the best content we built. This campaign mission is at the end of the Exiles Accord region. This Fireteam is taking down a giant Exiles prime servitor who's running some of the Archon's dark matter operations. Sorry, all minor spoilers.
No, it's cool. Life is probably jotting this down, getting ready for a lore dump about the Fallen, all that kind of stuff.
But this is a really fun like multi-phase boss encounter that's orbiting around this giant servitor, and we really wanted to set something up that this doesn't just was like a one and done.
Yeah, the Minecraft snapshot looks sick, bro. Finally, like years later, a way to use copper. I'm super down.
And so things.
Don't talk about Minecraft. Fuck Minecraft, dog. You're brain broken.
Before,
you're in grad school and you're telling people not to play Minecraft. Are you fucking serious? You are the core demographic for people for Minecraft.
Going back to that we think work well, there's going to be multiple weekly missions that you can play that are larger missions. So we have a capstone mission for each of our regions. We also have some bookends at the beginning and end of the release that the overall like length of them and complexity, they are very similar to legendary campaign experiences from the past. So something
What's up, Street Shadow? How you doing?
For this release, though, is we also have a bunch of additional story missions that take place during the campaign and you're first introduced to. These are shorter experiences, but they still have like huge impact on the story, moving the story of the main quest into Kepler for, and also help you to unlock different abilities and things throughout it. And so in the post-game, in the higher level, in the world tiers, we actually have a story mission playlist where you can go in and it's like a rotator and you're rotating through a bunch of different randomly selected story missions that are about 10 to 15 minutes.
I'm glad they're doing the shorter story missions for that. I think that's cool.
Shorter. And those missions are actually one of the best sources of those faded ciphers that I was talking about earlier.
That's cool.
And so the other thing I mentioned earlier too is we have specific quests for both Fabled and Mythic, and these quests are going to take you through some of the big campaign missions, again, to experience them with new modifiers, because we're curating modifiers and banes and things like that every single week on the destination to have a little bit more of a curated experience, but then also those quests introduce some like new encounters as well. And so, sorry, like I'm going a little all over the place. I mean, some of this, there's just like so much information, so much to talk about. But the thing, like, again, I want to like drive home here is like we wanted to give you really strong incentives to go in and play the free roam experience to extract materials, to play our story mission playlist. It's called the Time Latch mission playlist, to earn faded ciphers, but then also to have reasons to go in and replay some of our biggest campaign missions again through the weekly missions playlist, kind of like the heroic stuff we've had in the past.
And on the stream last week, we talked about how
I think all of that is good. I don't have a single note about any of that. Like, more reasons to interact with Kepler, unique loot to farm. You can do as much challenging content as you want. You can make it as challenging as you want. Extra puzzles and encounters to solve at higher difficulty. Reasons to replay the campaign missions. Exclusive armor sets for doing that at higher difficulty, etc., etc. Like, they're just kind of like, I can't believe it's taken him 11 years to do this sort of shit.
abilities, you carry those forward after the post game, so you can go in and replay and then have some of these things available, right?
Yeah, that's a really good note, and thank you for hitting on that. Like, the way we designed this content was the campaign slowly stepped you into these different abilities and unlocking different versions of them and higher tier versions of them. When you're in the post game experience, we intentionally designed puzzles and encounter mechanics and things, and like even in this boss encounter, there's multiple times that they've had to use Matter Spark to like get into the vents and stuff below this area and pop up through the world. And through the campaign, you would actually have to go and find like a Matter Spark pad to activate that. And that's actually kind of part of the puzzle. It's teaching you to kind of look at the world and think about the world in a different way that is intentional. But then in the post game, as soon as you complete the campaign, you unlock Matter Spark anywhere. And it's basically like your souped up
Now add World Tiers to the Pale Heart and get us multi per class items. Oh.
For the destination, and being able to
I like that idea
anywhere means you can actually like sequence break some of our puzzles and sequence break part of our mission.
Fun fact, some of us sequence broke a puzzle in like the first mission we did, and they were like, oh yeah, didn't know you could do that.
It was like entirely intentional as a part of the design.
Might have been the second mission we did.
Dylan,
There's
like,
one of the early
the fun
missions.
part about this too is like,
yeah, what's up,
we're
Lunar?
not 100% sure in some ways where people might sequence breaks things that we might not expect, but like that was intentional from the design perspective, that like we want people to be able to do that.
It's the magic of like the sandbox in Destiny of we don't know how players are going to take this ability with this destination ability with this combatant, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I think I would love to ask you as well. So we've gotten a lot of questions from players where they're like, oh, you had mentioned like this is comparable to a Rise of Iron. Like, how does that actually break down when we look at the Edge of Fate and Kepler? Like, you had mentioned depth and secrets and a bunch of different things. So.
Yeah, so I think like you and I were talking about this in rehearsal a little bit, where like that comparison is just to give us like a ballpark of where we want to make. But at the end of the day, it's like,
oh my god, so fucking base mag. Holy shit. Witch Queen, $40. New campaign, destination, raid, activity, exotics. One of the best expansions / DLCs ever. Edge of Fate, $40. New campaign, destination, raid, activity, exotics. Overpriced shit, quality of life DLC. Oh, and the free things that comes with those? Witch Queen, crafting, glaives. Edge of Fate, stat rework, gearing potential. The portal, armor set bonuses, firing range. Oh my god. Based as fuck, bro. Jesus. It's what I'm talking about, man.
apples and oranges between what the Edge of Fate is and what Rise of Iron is. So when we've talked about that, we've generally been speaking towards like the size of this destination and the depth of the campaign and post-game experience. Like this is one of the deepest destinations we've ever built before, and that is why we've been making that comparison to Rise of Iron.
My browser's kind of breaking right now.
But also in terms of being like a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But also like the game is very different today, right? We have an entire portal, we have an entire offering that is there with a bunch of new content, new gear, new things to do. We have the raid with the Edge of Fate, obviously, but then we have the epic raid.
Sorry.
Coming in the major update with Ash and Iron, which we'll talk about more in the future, that just it permutes and expands the raid and expands on the story of the raid. It is new content.
Yeah.
We're not holding anything back.
Gosh, bro, you're such a loser accepting this crap. You used the wrong form of your. When you mean to say you are, it's YOU''RE because that is a it's a conjunction of you and R. Next time, Tubbs, you got me though. You just haven't gotten to that class yet. Second grade next year, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna kill it.
The base.
You are gonna kill it. Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha.
Great to build that experience. And so, again, the Rise of Iron to Edge of Fate, a little bit apples and oranges, but we also
contraction. What did I say? Did I say conjunction? Oh, fuck! Contraction. Shit! Fuck!
Because
I need to go back to second grade too.
Game is very different from what it was like back.
So we have the free roam missions, we have campaign, we have secrets, we have a lot of questing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love before we wrap up with our campaign mission to talk a bit about what.
Calm down there, Slugger. We all know you're like 5'4". Come on.
They can what else players can expect in terms of destination activity.
Yeah. So we've seen y'all talking about it.
I
Like we
played
hear y'all,
myself,
and this is
oh
one of the things where
God.
like we wanted to hold this back for it to be like a surprise and delight moment for everyone.
What's up,
when they
Classic?
appear on
How
the
you doing?
destination in the post game. But yeah, let's just talk about it a little bit. So there is a destination activity
Oh,
on Kepler. It is, I'm not going to name it here. I just want y'all to see it when the game goes live. And it also, and part of that is because like it does.
I'm glad that they are talking about this like this. They're not spoiling it. They wanted it to be surprised, but they're like, hey, fuckers, it's there. Which, I was one of the people, I like might have been the first person that raised concerns about this. So fair enough. But I'm glad, you know, that they're talking about it. So
Does relate to some of the story.
Scarrow ruined the surprise and delight of the destination activity. Oh god.
Of the
Oh,
campaign, especially near the end.
God.
And so we wanted to be careful to not unintentionally spoil something if we showed too much of that activity. But anyway,
I'm just
the
vibing,
way
Classic. Welcome back.
to think about it is like it's going to be, it's kind of its own thing. It's kind of unique, but it's kind of a blend of activities like Vex Incursion and Wellspring. And so this is a match made in
Vex Incursion and Wellspring. So Vex Incursion was the one on the moon, right? And Wellspring. How the fuck does... And then they called a Horde mode later? What the fuck does a Vex Incursion Wellspring Horde mode even mean? Those words don't go together.
activity with 3 players. You're going to be using some of your destination abilities and some really chaotic horde mode.
Do you think you're just walking around and you get fucking just ambushed? And it's just like, bam, Vex attack! And then you just get fucked by 70 Vex? Or what? Oh, Vex Incursion. Oh, what's the one on the moon called? Vex Incursion's on Neomuna. Oh, is he talking about the Strike Force? Vex Incursion... Is the Strike Force is that the same thing as the Incursion? Or is the Incursion the big one? I don't fucking know, whatever. No, not the... So during Undying, there was like a mini activity, right? Where like Vex would just appear. What the fuck was that called? Do you know if the bonus drops from activities reset daily, weekly? That's a good question. I think daily, but I don't know that for sure. I believe it's daily. They at least shift what activity they're on daily. Okay, well, I kind of like the idea of like a limit. What the fuck? How does Wellspring play into that? When you say, because Wellspring's just like a fucking, you stand on the thing and you guide it, right? So when you say Wellspring Vex Strike Force, that's the Throne World public event.
Inspired elements, but there's also some mechanical elements and there's some boss encounters. But it's going to be one of the best places.
I cannot picture what this event is. I have no idea what this is.
Actually to earn rerolls of the exotic armor that's coming to the Edge of Fate that you get from the Legendary campaign, and it's just highly rewarding in general. And so because we wanted to make this activity really rewarding, it is also technically time limited. But on the Kepler map, near the center of the map, there's going to be basically a preview that tells you like, hey, when does the activity become available? So you're going to know exactly when you can jump into the destination activity in order to like focus farm those things that you care about the most.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We've already wrapped up our campaign mission, and now we're actually going to be moving over to Portal, Power of Progression. So Robbie, thank you. Chat, thank Robbie for joining us today. And now we're going to swap some folks in. We'll see you next.
I've been playing this game for more than 6 years now. Is it too much to ask for more content? No, I don't think it is. I have been very open with that. I have asked for more content over the past couple of months. It's how you go about asking. That's the entire, once again, criticism, complaints, it's all valid if communicated not like a fucking 2-year-old. That's the important part of that.
Next time. See you later, guys. Thanks so much.
All right. So as we are swapping out, I want to talk about these 2 new exotic weapons that we see on the screen. You saw some of this in our gameplay preview that we just had. We also had some creators, influencers, that kind of stuff coming in.
Do you think it'll be detrimental to have consistent spikes in gear, or will it be better to go for more quality-based build where you have more even? I think definitely more even with a couple of spikes. So health stat, dead stat, the lowest you can have in health is 25. So you know, you have 55 stats there, 45 stats there to put into something else. So I think like I'm gonna have like 2 like moderately spiky things and keep everything kind of mid. You'll also be able to pretty easily dip below on like grenades or strength and just use fonts to bring those back up. So I think there'll be ways around it, but I think you're definitely gonna want to have as close to 70 as possible on everything but health.
Speaking to the hand cannon and the scout rifle. Hand cannon is going to be through an exotic quest on Kepler. No spoilers there. But the team was talking about, oh, hey, here is our overall.
One thing, though, why you add weapon tiers instead of reworking rarity? They're the same thing in theory, no? I think the reason there is it's a psychological thing. So you can, by doing weapon tiers, gear tiers, and tying it to the different difficulty levels, you encourage people to push themselves as far as they really want to, while still giving people motivation to push themselves further. But if you just did, let's just say it was a dynamic system, regular, adept, then there's a much bigger break. Like, it's not as gradiented. Or if you were like, okay, if you only play the easy shit, you only get blues. But if you do the harder shit, you get purples. Once again, it's like a much starker thing. But by doing tier, you know, a gradual increase to 5, it doesn't feel as bad. It's like, okay, I can get to tier 3. That doesn't feel as bad as not being able to go past tier 1. You know what I mean? And you take baby steps as you're incrementing closer. It also makes the power grind much smoother. Much easier to understand for newer returning players because you don't have to relearn how rarity works. It's just a new thing on top of the existing rarity system. If you're a returning player. And so, like, I think it is. I think this is a result of having a 10-year-old game, an 8-year-old game, and not making a Destiny 3, something like this. But I think it's serving a lot of different purposes at once. And I actually kind of really like how they've done it. I'm not going to lie. And then it gives you the extra benefit of like, okay, tier 5 isn't really that much different than tier 4, but it's got an extra skin. You know what I mean? Like that sort of shit. So it's kind of cool. All the changes coming feel more like a traditional MMO. Yes, this is definitely Bungie moving much more into the MMO space, in my opinion.
Overall goal for the weapon, it's for those who are looking for the perfect 3-tap. As for the Void Scout Rifle, that's going to be a part of our new rewards pass. This is just, I'm not going to spoil that either. There are some reviews from our Sandbox Mind.
It's very good.
It's a fun time. So, all right, let's move.
I get you, but at the same time, having every drop be legendary is kind of weird, and having a 2-tier system like that is weird as well. I mean, every drop has been legendary in meaningful content for 10 years. Literally the only time that we don't get, I mean, we get some exotics, sure. That's not changing. But the only time you get anything less than legendary is, that hasn't happened in a fucking decade. 3 or 4 years. But when it did, it was when there was a significant light increase with the new expansion. So
move on to Portal, Power, and Progression. And I just looked at our 3 new guests in that order. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
our boy,
Nutty!
We'll
start with you, Ben. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Dylan. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. For those who didn't see you on our reveal stream or previous Vidocs, can you give a quick overview? Who are you, what you do?
Yeah, I am Ben Womack. I am the core game creative director. I am...
Imagine being a Bungie dev. You've never been on the couch before. DMG's like, walks up to you. Hey, Nutty. You should come on stream. You know what my first reaction? If I work at Bungie and DMG walks up to me, says, yo, Scaro, come be on this stream. I'm saying, Dylan, respectfully, go fuck yourself. No way am I putting myself out in front of the Destiny community, bro. And that's as a white male. I cannot imagine being a woman at Bungie, and being asked to go on one of these streams, being a trans person at Bungie, being asked to go on one of these streams, being, you know, any nationality that isn't as, you know, saltine cracker white American as you get, like myself. Like, if you like anything that's like it's awful. It's horrendous. This community fucking sucks. No way am I getting on that couch. No fucking way, dude. Yeah, Vivian is literally an unbelievable individual. Dude, people should be so fucking grateful for her. She is so passionate about her job. She takes relentless hate from this shit community, and she just like, she does it with a smile. It's just like, but yeah, if fucking DMG was like, come on, Scarrow. I'm like, no! No! There are 4 reward passes. So it sounds like the first quarter is going to have one. And then with Ashes and Iron or whatever the fuck, you'll get a second one and like that. And then with Renegades, you'll get another one. And then I'll give you 10 gifted subs that 1 year from now, all drops will be a tier 4 or 5. Oh, I fucking hope not, dude. I hope they stand their ground on this. I think like so much effort has went into this system. If they walk it back like they did at Depths, it would just be a fucking travesty. A lot of this is designed so people can be satisfied with not pushing themselves that much. Yo, what's up, Razor? How you doing? She does it with more than a smile. She's a fucking delight and ball of energy. Yeah, she's awesome. Like, I just can't even fucking imagine, dude. And like I said, like, I'm like the most basic ass white dude ever. And I would be fucking terrified. You know what I mean? I just can't even imagine. What if he called you a coward? Would your pride get the better of you and make you do it? I mean, like, if we're in this situation like now, like I've already been a face of the community and like everyone knows who I am, it's different, right? But if like, let's say you've been working at Bungie for like 4 or 5 years, no one knows you exist outside of Bungie in terms of like the Destiny sphere. We have you got to think there are somewhere in the order, in my understanding, these are total, like these could be way off, but my understanding is there's like 600 people working on Destiny, 300 people working on Marathon, something like that, give or take a couple hundred. We know like 50. You know what I mean? There are so many people behind the scenes. If I'm one of the 900 people the community doesn't know about, I'm living in blissful ignorance of what could be if they did know. Yes! Lab sent me this tweet. Like you're any better, Scarrow. Scarrow9. I have 8 more billion silver. What'd you do to the bright dust? Why'd you do that? Is that the actual amount of bright dust I had in my inventory? I wish people treated the staff better. It's always so cool that it was always so cool to hear Kevin. It's so unfortunate that the community essentially bullied Kevin Yanes over to like off of Twitter and then maybe even over to Marathon. I don't know. That guy, Kevin's up there with like the Bungie devs I've had the most talks with. I've been lucky enough. He is just such a genuine human. He's so fucking smart. Oh my God. Like literally build crafting in Marathon. There are times at Bungie I'd walk up to him. He's like, Scarrow, today during your playtest, look for this, pair it with this, do this and this and this, and you'll have the most fun you've ever had. Like, what the fuck? You just pulled that out of your, like, where did that come from? It's like, all right, what character are you playing right now? And I'll be like, I'm a glitch. I only like glitch because I'm a movement kid. It's like, no, play the other characters, Scarrow. You all right? Why? So he's such a genuine, such a great human being. Has so many things that he wanted to do for Destiny and things he wants to do for Marathon. You guys do not know how lucky you are to have people like that. You have no idea. Absolutely no idea. And 90% of the vocal community just shits on these people. and they're so talented and they're so passionate, and you're just gonna end up killing that passion, and then you're just gonna have like a bunch of soulless people left working on these games, and it's gonna be your fault.
The one, like helping all the teams that are making the core experience and all the components in the portal and in Edge of Fate as well, like worked well together and like pushed the game forward into like this great new foundation. I'm really excited to talk about it.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Next on the couch, brand new to our chair. You've never been on anything, so first time you are meeting the community. Everyone in chat, say hello. Nutty, welcome.
Hi.
Yeah. That face. Just like, Dylan, did you just tell them to fucking say hello to me? Hello?
I'm one of our sandbox ability designers. That pretty much means that I work with Vivian and Eric, who were here last week, to develop anything that the player is doing outside of armor, weapons, and combatants. So today I'm going to talk about all the modifiers and additional banes that we've been working on.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, if you ever want to see someone who loves their job discuss their job, listen to one of the firing range episodes that featured Kevin. So good. So good.
Last but not least, we got Alan Blaine. How you doing?
Hey, great. How you doing, Dylan?
Oh, you asked me how I am? Thank you so much. Really quick introduction for everybody out there watching. Who are you? What do you do?
Sure. Hi, I'm Alan. I'm a principal designer, and for the last year, I've been leading the team that's been taking all the cool banes and modifiers Nutty's team is working on and combining them in a UI with all the activities from the activities team, both
These teams have been fucking killing it, by the way.
new and returning activities, making sure that
Is
you
Nutty
get good
Scarrow's
score
brother?
while
Could
you're
be.
playing those activities,
Could
and
be.
then that score turns into loot with cool seasonal power and gear tiers and all the great stuff.
Yeah,
that you're
these
looking
two
for.
teams making and implementing banes. How many banes are there now? It feels like there's like 30 of them. I feel like there's just like a fuck ton of these things at this point, and it's awesome. They are so much better than champions. I cannot stress enough. I don't think the bane system gets anywhere near enough credit for how good it is.
On screen, this is what players are going to see when they sign in on day one, and this is our introduction to the portal. Ben, I would love to get just a quick overview for those who may have missed that reveal stream. Like, what is this space? What are we aiming for?
Yeah, so the portal is very exciting. We had this vision of making a new front page for the game for Destiny 2. And so we really want to make as much as we could available, like just in a couple clicks, and not having to dig down to find the content that is new or featured, or like you're being like your friends are playing, or something like convenient that you really want to like go to a lot. Like we have a button for the tower that's right there.
I stand on this, and I'll stand on this business until the day I die. It is so not obvious that you can click on this. I think this is a horrible. I think everything else in this is awesome. This needs to be moved right over to the world screen. That's all I'm saying. It is so not obvious that you can click on that.
We also have Edge of
Hello! Oh, I hope they're good. Oh my god, they're probably like $1 billion. How much for Sammy? There's literally no way that. Oh, it might be really small. Yeah, I guess. That still doesn't make any sense. A Pop-Tart, how many calories does like a Pop-Tart have? I feel like a Pop-Tart has like 800 calories. I don't know.
in the upper corner.
Love your shirt, Scary. You should check out their new music video. Yeah, I saw it for all my friends. I saw it. Very excited for part 2.
Of course, which is like the new feature, the new expansion for the launch right here.
It's so not obvious you can click on that, man.
We have this huge like quick launch panel in the lower right that is rotating between new activities, like probably the fastest you can play Destiny ever, aside from right when you like start for a very first like new character. It's gonna let you just like hit and play something right away with like no delay. And then we have actually a very like nested depth there with all the ops categories on the left, which are all the different kinds of things you can play in the portal that are hooking to all the new systems that that Alan and
I do think that genuinely,
Awesome. Yeah,
like
really quick, I'd love to go just line
95% of this screen is a great idea. I love the system where every day you have different focused armor and weapon pieces for different activities to and getting you to play unique things every day. You know, and within all the different buckets and all of that stuff. Like, I think genuinely, so much of the portal system is such a W. It's going to change the diversity of what you're playing game or day to day. It's going to change the longevity of a lot of this content because you're not forced to just fucking glizzy guzzle a single activity for 3 months and then move on to the next one. Like, you're actually playing stuff. New seasonal content will be rotated into here as well. This is fucking awesome. I love this idea. This just needs to be moved to the world screen. What do you think about solo ops? I'm not really the core audience for solo ops. I thought most of them were pretty boring. Some of them were fine. We got to play them on expert, so there's still like 3 difficulties above that. So maybe they get better at higher difficulties. The ones we played, pretty boring. But I mean, like, a super significant portion of the player base spends most of their time in like patrol, and I would never do that. So I think there will be a huge audience for these. It's just not me. But still, like, a cool idea, you know? Not everything needs to be for everyone.
Byline for solo Fireteam, Pinnacle, and Crucible ops. Give them an introduction.
2 weeks, I know.
So solo ops is like a new thing that we're doing in the Edge of Fate launch and for the core game. These have activities that are designed to be played by solo players. They're only one-person fire teams.
I wonder, is the portal what they wanted the content vault to be when Beyond Light came out? I mean, they even described the vault as a thing they could pull stuff out of and put back in. Yes, I think so. And they even talk here, like, just at like indescript times they're going to be rotating these. They said, yeah, major updates and stuff, but also just like randomly they'll pull events and put stuff in. And it's just like, imagine one day, like, you wake up some random fucking Thursday. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, deep dives are back in the portal system for a limited amount of time. It's awesome.
They're intended to be content that if you just like have a few
minutes,
like 10,
Phoenix.
15 minutes to play Destiny and you want to go on and like feel satisfied about your time, get some great loot, you're going to go to solo ops and like have that opportunity. It's going to be like a really great concise like experience. We're also like you know, if you don't want to have like the think about having a fire team for some content as well, you can be assured that this stuff is designed.
But like, even though it's not for me, you bet your fucking ass if there's a solo ops drop and I can run it 4 times. It takes you 10 minutes max to run a solo ops Skywatch, and it gives you 4 light boosted drops. Bruh, I'm running this shit. I don't even give a fuck. I don't even give a fuck. That's so rewarding. That's what I'm saying. I have no interest to run this content, but this system makes me interested to run this content. That is good activity and UI and incentive design. That is good design.
There. And so it's like, you know, it's going to have challenges, it's going to have difficulty and modifiers and such you can customize and really great loot to get. But, you know, it's a challenge for you, individual. And I think that's really exciting, like, alternative to some stuff in the past. It felt like I want to play, but I don't have any friends, or I'm trying to find someone I have a lot of time, and we have another, like, niche for people to fill, if they're in the mood.
Yeah, awesome. And then next up we have Fireteam ops.
Yes, Fireteam ops. So, like, just talking about fire teams, like, quintessential Destiny is playing with 2 other players, a fire team of 3, right? And so we have.
It's just like, look, on this random day, you can play this battleground 10 minutes, 2 extra drops. Proving Grounds 10 minutes, 3 extra drops. Liminality 40 minutes, 3 extra drops. Devil's Lair 5 minutes, 3 extra drops. You're going to be so incentivized, and so it's like, hey, do you play Onslaught once for a single drop, and you have to do it 3 times, versus play this activity you haven't thought about in 2 years once and get the same amount of loot. This incentivizes so much diversity in what you're playing. It is such a good system.
For a 3-player fire team,
it is such a good system. You'll be able to scroll.
Like missions from past expansions, like in Europa, like the Empire hunts.
I think the servers are going to hold up. That's the best part. All of this shit is already available in game. You just have no reason to do it. You have no reason. When's the last time anyone's like fucking ran Empire? Well, that's a bad example. Because of bounty prepping. But like outside of bounty prepping, what's the last time anyone's ran Dark Priestess? Like, they're giving you a reason to go do it. It's taking up space in the game. Go do it.
There it is. The coil, so past seasonal.
Yeah, all of these are pinnacles. Yeah.
And like integrating with all the systems we've been talking about that we're going to talk more about, so that they're like available for you to get new loot in, to work on your power climb, to basically just like have a great time in whichever way you want to.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, since we're already in the screen, let's
fantastic
go ahead
system.
And get our fire team set up with our
Fantastic
activity.
system.
What are we playing today, Nutty?
We were going to do the Dark Priestess Empire hunt.
Awesome. So here, I'm actually going to pass the mic over to you and Alan. Let's get some bans, some modifiers, all that kind of stuff set up. Really quick, can you introduce each of these sections for the different modifiers, and then we'll go and kind of pick and choose what we want?
For sure. So we're starting at Master Activity, and this is 300 combatant power. The first row there that has all the selectable icons that you can change are challenge modifiers. These are things that will increase the combatant power and add some additional difficulty to it. The first one is our Banes. So here you decide what Banes are going to show up, and we paired all of them as like 2 combos that either work well together or at least interesting. Today we'll do Threaded and Caltrops. So Threaded is where as you damage the combatant, it will
I can skip a lot of this because they just kind of talk about some of the modifiers, but it's just like, man, I fucking love this idea, dude. I fucking love this idea. People complain when the content vault, now they give you an activity with loot that's relevant that is old, and they complain about old stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Bruh. My YouTube's breaking.
Depth there with all the ops categories on the left, which are all the different kinds of things you can play in the portal that are hooking to all the new systems.
So it's a bit of like there can
Just
be
want to skip like
pixely
the
information
customizable
in the
part.
HUD. But what it also does is it makes it feel very cinematic and interesting, and like you kind of like feel more in tune with the character and the gunplay. And that's like a good analogy for what we're intending all the modifiers you're selecting to do. That it's like going to let you set up the situation like that he was talking about, like, oh, enemies have chill touch, but I'm going to like have live wire to counter it and create these cool little gameplay moments that are really like something that you choose for how you want to play for like.
I had a lot of conversations with Ben as well. His knowledge of all of the different fucking modifiers is crazy. Just rattling them off. It's like he really cares about this system a lot.
These modifiers,
Another really passionate person that we don't know how lucky we are.
No HUD in particular. Shout out to Sammy Cat.
Yep.
Called her out last week for all the bows we were showing off, but also no HUD.
And we're hoping to get a bows only loadout modifier coming in the future too. We really do want to look at how people are playing the game, whether they're creators playing on stream or people playing at home, and really try to let them set up.
All right, Scare 9 modifier. You have to play this activity naked.
the challenge for themselves, how they want to do, right? Whether it be challenge modifiers, stakes, or the boons.
Yeah. How often are we going to be adding more modifiers to the portal?
Well, we're going to have some new modifiers coming with events. And we're going to be adding new modifiers with the mid-season update with Ash and Iron.
Yeah, a major update, yeah.
Yeah, I've been working on them pretty constantly along with the rest of the team. So it was like every few days that another either Bane would...
That's so like just... Man, there's going to be so much gameplay diversity. It's so good. It's so good. How could literally anyone listen to this system and be like, this is bad for Destiny? I don't understand, man. I don't understand.
Come online or modifier, and have to go playtest that, which was a pretty big playtesting lift to try all these combinations and make sure that there aren't any rough edges when you combine some things that maybe we hadn't thought about when we were initially designing them.
Yeah, I'm sure there's stuff that players will find that we won't. We're accepting that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we have our challenge for Esoteric or Mork or a couple of the other high skill creators of what can you throw on to make this difficult, and can you actually complete it? Right. So it'll be fun watching those playthroughs. Ben, I paired with that, how often are we going to have more activities being added to the portal?
Yeah, so we want to like regularly refresh the portal on like so that, you know, there's stuff coming online like on like somewhat weekly cadence. Like we're gonna have kind of a weekly like new stuff coming online for the first few weeks, and then when events come in, they're gonna have big changes like lots of new modifiers or like portal-wide like effects. Some are going to come with activities as well, but we're also going to be every major update. We're going to have new activities that come in, and we're also going to have like shakeups of existing ops formats. And we're actually we're going to have a really cool new activity that's paired with an event at Ash and Iron launch. I'm not going to talk about right now, but I think is really fun. That's going to be an exemplar of like. Hey,
I love this mentality of smaller burst events, man. I cannot express how much I love the idea of just short-term burst events, unique rewards. You're not grinding Festival of the Lost for fucking 3 weeks. You don't have to worry about keeping yourself busy in Rides to the Nine for 3 months. It's like, hey, here's a week. Unique gameplay perspective. Play if you want, don't if you don't. There's some unique loot, unique title. Bam, it's over. It'll come back in a couple months. I fucking love that. I'm so excited. This is exactly what I'm talking about. When I talk about like, what comes with the expansion, fine, that's cool. That'll keep me busy for a couple weeks. The part of Destiny that matters to me is the hobby game. What are we actually playing for the entire year? That's seasonal content. That's things like this. that small events that matter so much more than fucking Kepler and how many missions are in the campaign that I'll play one time. This is the important stuff, and they are killing it, man. They are killing it. I'm so excited for that. It's just like, God damn, there's going to be something different to grind every day. You're going to be incentivized to grind it a different way every day. There's going to be a constant flow, hopefully, in an ideal world, the way they're talking about it, of new unique rewards and triumphs and titles. And it's all going to be unique, and it's all going to, and when something else comes in, it's going to affect other systems temporarily as well. And you'll have that modifier that's, hey, Suros guns are buffed in every portal activity this week. And maybe you'll have increased drop rates of these things for this week. And it's just like, yes, this is Destiny now. It is reasons to play old and new content. It's more reasons to grind as much as you want and as hard as you want and at whatever difficulty you want. If you want to stop at tier 3, more power to you. If you find that fun, if you want to push yourself further and go for every piece of tier 5 shiny loot, you can also do that, and you can customize exactly how you want to do it. And it's just like, it's perfect. It is deepening the grind and giving you more incentive without disincentivizing just playing. Like, there's a lot of things in the game right now that's like, well, if you don't want to go all the way to the hardest content, why even play? You know, I feel like a lot of people feel that way currently. And this addresses this. But a lot of people also currently feel like I do, where it's like, there's most of the game's like fucking easy. And like, what I want to go push myself and do harder stuff and have skill expression and have more reasons to build craft and avenues to do that. And they're giving us that too. It's just so much personal agency and like customization in a way that's just like, man, how could you not be excited about this? How could you not be excited, man? It's just like, if they pull this off, it is going to change the everyday gameplay of Destiny in such a big way. And it's like 98% positive. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. And like, activities are done being sunset, they'll rotate back in. Think about every activity since Beyond Light, when sunsetting started, DCV started, to now. Think about how many like pretty cool activities there are that are already updated for the new system that they can just bring in. And then this gives them more incentive to go back and remaster things like Forges or Menagerie. Put a little bit of time in. Hey, it's a weekly event. Menagerie comes back. It's here for a week. Unique loot. And it'll be back every couple of months. You know what I mean? Tell me that doesn't sound fucking awesome. Tell me you wouldn't like to have deep dives back for a limited amount of time. Or altars of summoning for a limited amount of time. And it's just like, bam, it just refreshes the daily grind. Can be tied to these short burst events with unique loot or cosmetics or whatever. Just like, man, we're no longer losing content forever. And this doesn't replace new content. We're still getting new seasonal activities. We're still getting new expansion activities with Kepler. We're still getting whatever Ash and Iron is. This is just, hey, no longer done are the days a season comes out, you have a new activity for a couple of weeks, and then you're just waiting for something else to happen. That's done. Because now that you'll have that new activity, and you'll have reasons to go back and play old activities, and you'll have new events, and you'll have new banes, and you'll have new modifiers, and it'll keep everything fresh and moving between drops. Man. That just makes me so freaking excited. Makes me so excited. Man. Such a cool idea. We'll keep going.
A new thing, in addition to all of like the classics and Destiny like Vault that we're bringing out.
Not just new activity, a new activity type that you've never played before.
Yes.
That is so cool. A new activity type with the mid-season update, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so this is all talking about like what you're going to be playing in the portal, and
what types of activities have we not had in Destiny?
So what you're earning, which is people love.
Huge question. You mentioned Menagerie, but would that include having a tier 5 versions of Menagerie weapons that are grindable for a limited time? So what I'm talking about is speculation. They have not confirmed any of that, but I don't see why not. Arms Week's a limited time rotation event, and it'll have tier 5 weapons that'll rotate every time it's out. I don't see why not. Most Destiny stuff feels like it's catering to the casual come and go people. This feels like a change for the committed gamers. 1 billion %. 1 billion %. I could not have said it better. $1 billion %.
Love loot. Nutty, thank you so much for joining us. I'd love to give you just anything else you want to say before you leave.
I definitely want to shout out the rest of the Sandbox team, not just those of us that were working on additional modifiers and bans, but like that playtesting lift. We had everybody across Sandbox disciplines in all of those playtests to try and hit as much of this as possible. And I wanted to re-emphasize how impactful some of the modifiers can be. Specifically, I'm thinking back to what we were just playing in live with attrition modifier in Prophecy Week 1, because when we moved to Prophecy Week 2, my fire team had gotten so accustomed to killing enemies and having a little health pickup on the ground that we had to play that final fight.
So it's confirmed we have to regrind armor every 6 months still? No, that is never, the time frame's never been confirmed. We don't know what the time frame of new weapon, like the new gear tag is. They have not said.
And use cover way more because we couldn't just kill some enemies and run through them to fill back up. Normally, I would think of attrition as a lot more of a challenging modifier, but it turned out that when we were toggling things off and on, it turned out to be more beneficial to us than we were anticipating.
I am still on the side of like attrition is challenging to me, and when it goes away, I'm like, oh, hey, fire team, let's let's go for it.
And if that makes it too hard for you to get your rewards, then just you toggle it off here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about like what you're comfortable playing with, and also what your style is for, and your build, and what your mood is too. Like we're giving a lot of player agency to that.
Right. And speaking of player agency, so I would love to see
It being more than a season would defeat the purpose? No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Not at all. Not at all. If it's, imagine if it overlaps with the next season. So you can use boosted gear from this season to farm out next season. And it's still rotated. I'm not talking about the exotic stuff. The exotic stuff can rotate every season. But no, I mean, sunsetting, soft sunsetting, or hard sunsetting timeframes in Destiny used to be a year, right? Being able to take a gear from the entirety of this year and then use it up until the next expansion, I think completely fits just fine within the new system. It also allows you, like, if my Renegade gear exists until the end of the Alchemist, it allows me to prep for that raid through Renegades as well.
see your feedback.
Scare Works for Bungie confirmed? No, they couldn't afford me.
Like, what ones are you engaging with? What ones are you enjoying more? What ones feel like they are actually rewarding to do? And what ones feel like we could punch them up a little bit? Because that's what we'll probably keep working on.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Chat, everybody scream, thank you, Nutty.
Thank you, Nutty!
And get our power progression individual in. So,
Okay, thanks.
thank you so much. While we're doing this transition, Ben, I would love to ask you, what activities could players find in Pinnacle Ops?
Oh yeah. So Pinnacle Ops has
Listen to the casual shade thrown at the rotator system here, by the way.
Edge of Fate
Ben
launch
is us.
Going to be filled with exotic missions. And some exotic missions from the past year and previously as well that are going to be integrated into the whole Portal experience and all the systems we're talking about, all the difficulties, all the modifiers, and intended to be, you know, like not only something that is, well, exotic missions, they're kind of hard, right? They have mechanics, they're long, and so we're matching that by being like, okay, well, you can get the exotic if you don't have it, first of all. Just from playing on the Portal, it's available all the time. It's not like going through rotation like every week.
Yeah, the smaller numbers are going to take a long time to
you can
get
do
used to, for
Fireteam Finder,
sure.
of course, to find people to play with. But we're really excited that it's like, oh, I can like play this as hard as I want or as easy as I want, whatever I want, whatever I'm feeling like right now. And we're going to have more to Pinnacle Ops in the future with Ash and Iron that we're not going to talk about today. So it's actually a good example of like, hey, we're making this new section of the game that we're going to just keep on building in and tinkering with over time.
That's great. And see, for everyone who's like, where's the new content? They're clearly setting a solid foundation where they can easily add to this sort of stuff in the future. It's awesome.
Awesome. I sense a segue. We were talking about Pinnacle Ops
into the
and
next
Pinnacle
category.
Power. Hello, Josh. Welcome to the couch.
Hello. Hi, I'm Josh Galinsky. I'm a staff systems designer here at Bungie. Been here for about 5 years. And I really work with a lot of our loot, our gear, your power and progression, as you mentioned, like, you know, what are your rewards? What's the candy you get?
So exotic missions are going to be on a daily rotator as well? No, you'll be able to launch any of them that are in the Pinnacle ops at any point. Some of them will just have buffed rewards on a daily rotation, but they'll all be available.
The end of your activities and stuff like that. So we spent a lot of time.
That's the crazy thing, though. Like, even that, Cole, where's the Season of the Health? But where's the new content? Like, people asking for Season of Health. That's like my whole point with the Witch Queen comparison. We're not really getting that much less content. That's my entire point. It's like people have convinced themselves that Witch Queen came with infinitely more content than it did. But it's just not reality. I just don't understand.
Reworking a lot of our stuff in the Edge of Fate, and really 900 is what the internal thing is. But we made big changes to how you engage with power in Destiny.
Witch Queen didn't market all the free stuff it came with. One of the main marketing pushes for Witch Queen was crafting.
You'll all notice is, I think many of our creators have already noticed in the past that there has been a power squish. We've reset players down to...
And Void 3.0, yeah, that was also marketed. Both of which, once again, were free content, not part of the price tag.
Like, that is not only to give everyone kind of a fair and equitable starting place, and to kind of like reset the engagement with power. Also, 2020 power is not exactly the most... friendly starting point.
Not easy to understand if you haven't been along for the ride.
Right.
But okay, and this is another thing. One sec for the video. This just blows my mind. I just don't understand. And this is just a different priority, and it's totally fine. But Jackson says, that's what I'm hoping for. If we only get like 3 exotics, the expansion is a huge failure in my eyes. Why? Like, what's the difference? Like, every exotic that we've seen for this, weapon and armor, is pretty usable and will enable a lot of big builds. I would say the one that is like kind of people are a little skeptical about is the Hellion one for Warlock. I'm sure that'll find its way into something. But who cares? Like, in an expansion like Witch Queen, yeah, you might get more exotics, but half of them were like ass. How many times do you use them? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just like an artificial number thing that people have. I just don't understand it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not saying we shouldn't get more content, but it's just like, if we're getting a huge new destination, a huge new campaign, a beautiful new raid, presumably, I haven't seen it, but like every raid's beautiful. Like all this stuff, and you're hung up on getting like 2 fewer exotics? It's like our priorities are just different. We just rate content, the important pieces of content, way differently. I just don't. I can't. It's hard for me to like empathize with that point of view because I just don't understand it at all. And this isn't me saying you're wrong. It's fine to have that opinion. I just don't get it. I just do not get it. I just don't get it. I just don't. Yo, Nance in the Pants, thank you for the sub, my friend. Appreciate you. That's just where I am. That's just where I am. And there's nothing wrong with having that opinion, Jackson. I don't want you to feel like I'm like calling you out or making fun of you or anything. It's just like, we're getting all like 90% of the same amount of content and quality content as Witch Queen. And we're just focusing on like the stuff I would never in a million years care about. Because what exotics even came with Witch Queen? Like how many, Oh, Shishriga. Okay, I've used that. Ass, good, ass, uber ass, ass. So, that's my point. That's where I am. Lorelai's good. I said Lorelai was good. I like Lorelai. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to exotics, when it comes to stuff, I don't care if we get 15 times as more exotics if only 3 of them are useful. It is definitely, this is, in some parts of Destiny, I don't really agree with this, but in this case, This is a quality over quantity type thing, for sure. Nah, dog. Nah. Renewal, dog. No one's using renewal grass. I don't care if they're pretty good in PvP. Use Stompies or Dragon Shadow. Do not fucking lie to me and don't lie to yourself. Osmiomancy? Who in the fuck is playing Stasis Warlock between 2022 and 2025? Not a goddamn person. Second Filaments? I don't even know what those do, to be completely honest. I've never had a really... I would Devour in a Rift or something. What? Sure, I'll give you... They might be half good. Don't even fucking lie. Like, come on. Come on. Come on. Who's using Lorelei over Synthos? When Lorelei came out, it was better than Synthos. Lorelei was busted in Witch Queen and Haunted. Lorelei was busted, for sure. For sure. We're putting ourselves in context here. I'm not saying sorry to Collective Obligation. Collective Obligation is probably the worst raid exotic to ever exist. It's ass. I don't even care. You could never convince me. You could literally never convince me otherwise. Not worth it, Rage Spy. Oh, man. Yeah, destabilizing rounds better than Collective Obligation. I'd use a bow over Collective Obligation. I fucking hate bows. Like, okay, look, if you guys are Lost Sector demons, sure. Okay, I'll give you your weird exotics. I'm talking about shit that's actually fun to use or, like, actually good, okay? Come on. Come on. It's fine if you like Collective. I'm just saying it's bad. Okay. Oh my god. But I'm just saying, like, come on. If Witch Queen having Osmiomancies and Hoarfrost and Blight Ranger is the thing that made it more worth $40 than Edge of Fate, then more power to you. You know what? I'm not here to yuck on your yum. I'm happy. If that made you feel justified in the price tag, then good for you. I'm so happy that I could do that for you. Okay? This is something we'll never agree with on those specific exotics, but I'm fucking happy for you. Good, great. That's awesome. And you know what? Completely justified in saying Edge of Fate is the worst DLC ever or whatever. It's just like, this is where it is. Oh man, we're just having some fun. But it's just like, I don't know. I will maintain this position. Like the meaningful content that Witch Queen has, paid content. Same, and the reason I keep using Witch Queen is because it's the same price, right? And it didn't come with it's the same price and it didn't have a new subclass. So I could like use Lightfall. But Lightfall, you know, came with Strength. For all of Lightfall's faults, it actually had a pretty good thing in it. Could use Shadowkeep. Shadowkeep didn't come with shit, except came with a raid and a dungeon. At a cheaper price point, $35. So it's like, and probably more exotic. So like, honestly, it's not a great comparison because I had way more for way less. But inflation and COVID and all that shit, you know what I mean? But Witch Queen, people fucking love Witch Queen. Same type of shit. Same amount of shit. And 2 strikes. Just like, I just don't really see it. I'm actually Void 3.0. Might as well been a new subclass that was free. You have over 100,000 kills on Collective Obligation? Oh my god. Is that like your King's Fall AFK maze weapon? People love Witch Queen because it was a good campaign with a great raid. Yeah, but it's like, Edge of Fate hasn't even come out yet. We don't even know the name of the raid. You know what I mean? So,
like,
I think the story of Witch Queen had more people invested. There's still a lot of mystery to Savathun and Lucian Hive. I like, you know, we're fighting the 9 in this DLC, right? Like the things that were teased in the game before Oryx. One of the oldest, like, named entity groups in Destiny.
This is the beginning of a new saga. It's the beginning of a new thing here. So we're starting off there. It gives like all Guardians on equal footing.
Bro, what's
with
the
each
break doing?
other, and allows us to kind of.
Oh wait, was he flying? I thought he was walking. Did he float or
like
was he
all
flying?
Guardians
No, no. I don't think he's flying. He's walking.
Equal footing with each other, and allows us to kind of build up. You're going to have 200 points of power in the soft cap band.
Intrinsic cap. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And you're going to be able to go and do any activity you want across the game in order to get to that point. Once you get past that, then you enter the seasonal bonus power band, which is where you're going to have to start doing more of the portal activities and the Kepler, like world tiers and stuff, in order to get the power and progression that you want to get at that point.
Cool. So just to restate it.
Technically, we're
gonna
not
start at
fighting
10
them?
when we launch.
Yeah.
Is that true? I actually don't know if it's true. I didn't fight any 9, but I would be very surprised if one of the 9 at least doesn't end up being the bad guy.
Every Guardian joining is going to be at 10. First 190
Especially since they're
up
the
to
theme of this
200,
whole
that's gonna be
saga.
effectively your
I bet
base
we end
power
up killing
level.
like
And then
all the
as you're
9.
going
It's
into
gonna be a
more powerful
supernatural
activities,
episode.
higher tier-
We're in a new season of Supernatural, but instead of the 4 horsemen, we're hunting down the 9, killing them one by one.
That's when you start going up and up.
Right, and you'll be able to get up till 450 power up until Rise of, or not Rise of Iron, but Ashen Iron. There's once you get to that point in the season, then you're going to be able to go even past that.
Awesome. So when we're talking about seasonal power, is that replacing the artifact power that we have?
Exactly. Like, we did simplify power a little bit further by taking power off of the artifact.
Good.
And that allowed us to take the power we had
A Cassiel
there
exotic,
and
that'd be
put it
sick.
back into the
Robes,
So
that's just his
really
trench coat.
streamlines it. It makes it so you're only worrying about your gear power as far as your engagement with that. So it just takes one additional level of complexity out of the system.
Yeah, and speaking of just like that power climb, like our Pinnacle sources have been updated to actually fit and give more agency, correct?
Absolutely. So one of the things I think, if you're a longtime Destiny player, you're very used to the Pinnacle grind. And you're also used to the limitations that the Pinnacle grind puts on you, and like some of the intricacies that come with that. Like, there's been many seasons in the past where, you know, I really needed that drop of the boots to come from the thing, and I do my Pinnacles, I didn't get my boots. Well, not only are you able to more target farm individual gear pieces now, but also the limit of the Pinnacles.
Oh, I just noticed they added Corsairs to this.
So
that's cool.
The limit of the Pinnacles is no longer a thing. We're going to have some challenges in the game that act as accelerators for you as a Guardian, so you can basically focus on those to get power, like more hits of powerful gear. But
yo, Hammy, thank you for the 10 gifted. Let's go. Thank you so much. Wait, is Caden in YouTube chat? No. No. How does this happen? I think it's rigged against Caden. Have I shadow banned you, Caden? What's going on? Dude, Hammy, thank you so much. Have a great night, my friend. I'm gonna be honest, Year of Prophecy looks like it might end up being one of the best years of Destiny. I'm not ready to say that. I think they're making, in fact, I will not say that. I think they're making a lot of great changes. We are getting less content this year. And we're getting the least amount of endgame content we've ever gotten. No, that's not true. That we've gotten in many years. And it's like, you know, I think I love their renewed approach here. I hope it helps streamline content and keeps things interesting for longer. I'm just here to see what they do with it. You know what I mean? I think for me, no matter what, the fact that there's only one raid in one dungeon this year is going to just like kill it. It's gonna make it real painful. I'm not gonna lie. But we'll have to wait and see what they do with things like the Epic Raid, and we know that we're getting at least like one Rite of the Nine style event into the light or Pantheon style event every year. So like maybe they're able to make it feel good. But we'll see.
Really, once you get past that, you can keep going.
Yeah, like everything in the portal is a source of Pinnacle drops.
Exactly.
As much as you want.
As many times you complete it, with it being up to how you perform and how challenging you make the activities to be how far you can go.
Right. You still have to achieve that score as you go up in power for the higher difficulties, get that better loot.
Right.
And we'll still have curated experiences, correct? So if a player doesn't necessarily want to spend a bunch of time like creating that challenge,
That's a cool thing they did as well.
Yeah, and like we do have like matchmaking. Which is like set modifiers for every activity that has not, aside from solo ops. So solo ops doesn't have matchmaking, but for Fireteam ops, like you can match with other players. So the modifiers are.
I think it's such a missed opportunity that they do not add raid cosmetics. They might with the Epic raid. They very well might.
That too.
I hope Epic raid has unique shinies.
Right.
That would be my ideal world.
Just a fun note, we've seen a ton of feedback over the years about players want to play Strike solo, and now.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. So the.
They talk about the Epic raid very little. I don't know if that's already happened.
You don't want to play a strike.
They pretty much just say it doesn't take away from the base raid experience. It is a continuation of the raid story.
Master Nightfall
is what they've
strike, or even like
whatever that
really,
means.
Like difficulties with other players. You don't have to. You can just play it by yourself. You can take as long as you want within the confines of like the modifiers you've chosen to complete the activity and get the loot you have. So that falls into like the what is your mood? Like what is it you're playing right now? And like
it does seem really ambitious.
To you.
Awesome. Yeah, I think back to you, Josh, really quick. Just from a high level, we talked about how Infusion is changing in the last blog, which, by the way, you should go.
Sorry, this is not $100 content. Well, I've got great fucking news for you, Francisco. Two things, two great news. A, this expansion's only $40 US, $40, not $100. So that's great. I'm saving you over 50%. I might be about to save you 100%. You get most of this content for free. You don't if you're not interested in Kepler. You're not interested in Edge of Fate campaign? You don't want to play the raid? Don't. You can still play everything else they're talking about for free, my friend. Free! $0! That works in any conversion. $0 USD. I just learned this. I had to fact check it. Is £0? Is 0 yen? Is 0 Australian dollars? Is 0 Canadian dollars? It's free, no matter where in the world you live. That's fucking awesome. And if you just want to play this expansion, it's not 100, it's only 40. You just want to play both expansions, it's only 80. It's not even 100. I don't know where people keep making up this fake 100 number from. You know? Oh, you can play the game without getting this super shiny exclusive cosmetic edition. In fact, I would encourage most people to do that.
High level for folks that didn't catch the blog, what's changing?
Yeah, at the highest level, upgrade modules are no longer a part of that Infusion thing. They're still going to continue to exist in the game. They can still drop from legacy content, but you can dismantle those for, I think it's an enhancement core and like 1500 Glimmer. And so like those are still there. We're going to have a new unstable core currency that's going to exist, and you're going to use that in addition to enhancement cores in order to, infuse your gear up for the season.
Okay, and a bit of Glimmer too, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And really, at its core, it allows us to just have more texture over things. And one thing I should call out is that seasonal power does reset at the end of this thing, and players will be reset back to 200 when Renegades comes out.
Got
it. New and Beyond will probably not be free.
Last note on the power.
How do they usually do?
Reveal event,
I don't know.
You spoke about Crucible and how you can actually power up in Crucible to kind of keep pace with your friends. Like, can you expand on that a bit?
Yeah. So there's a time in Destiny's past when you could just play Crucible a lot, and you can get your power, you get great gear, you could like fold in with your friends to play a raid.
Do you guys remember when the best way to level up was skip the campaign, or like right after the campaign do just Pinnacle or comp grind, because you got your Pinnacles from comp rank ups and the regular Crucible rank ups? That wasn't even that long ago. That was just a couple of years ago. There were definitely multiple DLCs where we just went right into comp
content.
Fucking crazy.
We've kind of lost that somewhat over the years. Like, it's harder to like feel like Crucible is your identity and really feel like the game is rewarding you for that. So with Edge of Fate launch and the core game and the Crucible.
Oh, it's a cool looking engram. I didn't even notice that before.
Inside of it, you're going to be able to start from that power 10 and just play Crucible, and you'll get powered drops. You'll go up and you'll eventually get higher tier, be able to get like really great sets of gear that will then be as good as like anything else that you can find in the game. And you can just play Crucible all the way to the power cap if you want to. We are going to ask you to perform as you go to get more consistent rewards, but it's totally possible.
Yeah, and Josh, you mentioned before too of like trials and competitive Crucible are going to be ways to accelerate. Right?
Absolutely. If you're putting yourself in the pools with the like higher skill players and challenging yourself, that's how you're going to get your faster rewards. And not to mention the
Toes, get ready for the pre-raid comp grind.
armor sets and stuff like
Yeah, we have a unique armor set for
It's
Crucible.
back.
For trials, we have weapons, a bunch of cool rewards coming up, and we'll have a preview of that. One of our characters actually has trials gear if you didn't notice. But now we have a good moment to look at our seasonal hub.
Sure.
Alan, I'm going to ask you to actually walk us through this.
Yeah, sure. If you notice the seasonal hub up there at the top of the portal screen, if you click into that, you come to the hub, which you're going to have a bunch of daily challenges and weekly challenges, and those are going to give you XP, they're going to give you Bright Dust, they're going to give you extra drops on a portal activity, but it's going to give you progress towards the weekly reward track there. And the weekly reward track has lots of currencies and powerful drops on there, but it also has, if you tab to the next one, is going to have some Vanguard Armory and
I love
Arsenal
these
tokens,
types of
which
screens.
give you
I'm glad they're
bonus
using
drops
it.
from Zavala from the list of
The
weapons.
seasonal overview: Vanguard armories and city foundries stand ready to support the Guardians as the resurgent forces of the city seek their help to reclaim lost worlds, explore uncharted territory, and disrupt combatant strongholds. Humanity's champions, Guardian and Mortal alike, will protect the new lands from corruption. So that does make it sound like there's like actual like seasonal content we haven't seen too, which is pretty cool.
Armor you can get from these activities.
Yo, Lord, what's
that are
up?
going to be higher tier, and they're going to be a higher power than you can get from even getting the best grade in there. So you'll want to be doing these, and these refresh every week, and get 2 pieces of armor and 2 weapons every single week.
Yeah, and this track is free, correct?
Yeah,
This is all game.
It's all free. Everything in the portal is free. So if you scroll down from here, you're going to run into the Conquest page. Now these are
These are cool. They talked to us about these when I was saying you'll be able to get some tier 5 gear before the second half of the season. This is how. This is how. I don't think you'll be able to get much, if any, from like actual grinding activities before Ash and Iron, but you are able to get some from Conquest.
And Grandmaster, and these are
Yo, Moonshane, what's up?
effectively your Grandmaster replacements in the portal. These are going to be fixed power, fixed modifiers, no Fireteam power, and you get really good rewards for completing it. You'll get 4 higher tier engrams for completing
Yeah, Smarty.
each one.
That are powerful. To give
Yeah,
you,
those
like, more
are higher power,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll only be able to get it one time. But these are really about
He has wisdom to share. Oh, okay. Oh,
your journey through.
Yeah, I'm not. I direct. So I've known. They showed us this system, like how the thing was gonna work, and I was like, I forget who I was talking to. It might have been Ben, or it might have been Robbie, and I was just like, look, I'm not a huge fan of this mid-season power gate, but I know who's gonna hate it even more, the community. So if you guys are insistent on doing this, you need to be literally as transparent as you can be about the whole thing. Your power growing less over time, kind of the asymptote you hit with power, the increase of light at the mid-season. You need to be incredibly open with all of this, or else people are going to freak out. And they have been very open with it, to their credit. I think the worst thing they could have done is hide that, and then, or not even intentionally, just not talk about it, and then people would freak out. I'm going to send you a video on Discord. It has 5 million views and it's generational talent. Uh-oh. Yeah, someone else sent me that too. I don't really know who the White Stripes are, but it's not really my type of music. But thanks for the recommendation.
Through the season, as you level up, you can take on the first expert one, and then the next expert one, and then the master, and then master 2, and then finally the 2 grandmasters. And with Ash and Iron, we're going to be bringing more grandmaster and ultimate conquest, which will allow you to complete the conqueror.
So those are pretty cool. It's just kind of a way to prove that you've mastered your current difficulty level. I don't like how they're keeping the Conqueror Seal for this. I think they should sunset the Conqueror Seal and come out with a new title for this, personally.
Gameplay team, if you could go back to the modifiers that you were just talking over, This was a really good example of a quality of life feature that came about. We saw
Can you at least leave a comment on the video? Fuck no.
a ton of feedback.
Bro,
Modifiers
trying to I'm not clicking on that shit. You're gonna ruin my YouTube algorithm, bro. They're gonna start playing fucking indie rock. Fuck that.
The portal options, so you can more easily identify these things and understand them.
Yeah, and shout out to the UI UX team for like
It's not even
making
rock.
a really
It's like fucking just alternative, like almost kind of folky. I don't know. It's like no, fuck no.
cleaner look for activity launch and having this cool bucket to look at them. Like, I think it's really good, really good.
Cool. And then there was one more section on the seasonal hub, one more tab down low for the Conqueror Seal.
Yep. So the Conqueror
Are
Seal,
Nightfalls just going away? No, they're just part of the. Well, like Nightfalls, yeah, I guess are technically going away because you just have harder difficulty strikes that you can just run. But yeah. Yeah, but I feel like that should be a different title. I'm gonna tweet that out. I tweet about everything positive. Might as well be a bitch too. One piece of feedback for at Destiny 2 team. I personally feel like Conquests should give you a new title, not expand on the Conqueror title. Anytime you essentially change the entire way, earn a title. I'm not gonna say that. If you're changing the entire way, earn the title, i.e., whatever. Third title, I think it justifies just being an entirely new one. Not the biggest deal. I suppose. Okay.
Is down here. You're going to be completing the
Conquistador.
Conquest during the season
Oh, that's
to
so
earn
fucking good, actually. Conquester.
and guild your Conqueror Seal. And since this is still the Conqueror Seal, it's going to maintain its old gilding. So this is going to be continuing.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm not vibing with
14
that.
seasons of Conqueror. Now we're going to keep on going, baby.
Oh my god.
Awesome. So I'm going to say we still have a couple topics to cover. Fireteam, let's go ahead, launch into an activity in Fireteam Ops. Throw on a couple modifiers that you want to go for. Mix and match. I'd love for players to see as you go through how the score is changing, how the rewards can scale, all that kind of stuff. Just have a fun time. For the folks on the couch,
Conquered.
we already went through the seasonal hub, the rewards. We are also having a moment in time where Guardian ranks are resetting.
Yes.
Yeah, if I could get a quick overview.
Boo.
One of you, I believe, Alan.
Yeah.
Alan.
Boo.
Yeah, so we took a look. So Guardian ranks, when we launched them, the first few ranks were about learning the game, and then the upper ones were about your seasonal journey and dealing with all the different kinds of things a player might do in Destiny. So we've stripped a bunch of those away and rebuilt objectives to be focused completely on the portal. So it's going to be playing through the various activities, using modifiers.
Yeah, they're setting it back to 2.
Using, playing all
And then they're essentially changing. I'm gonna skip this because I really hate the fucking Guardian games or Guardian rank system. But
drop everybody back down to Guardian rank 2.
Bonds of friendship. That's like a core part of the DNA of Destiny is being able to play with fellow.
I hate Guardian
Yes.
ranks.
So as an example, if
I wish they
you're
would've just got rid of
tier
them.
4 and I'm only tier 2.
They're essentially taking out all the raid requirements. They're taking out the dungeon. They're taking out the accommodations. I don't like Guardian ranks. You think it will ever get more than 4 status effects on the screen at once? I fucking hope so. They showed a little teaser of gameplay, and they had stuff on the right side. That was recent.
We do
that was
a
in
tier
one of the
4
recent
activity.
streams.
I still get tier 2.
So I
gear, but
fucking
it's
hope so.
Accelerating me faster into tier 3.
You're going to hit your score a lot easier, which is going to
At least like a toggleable option for us to decide if we want to do that.
those bonus rewards and
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. And then your second note?
And yeah, finally, like, we made a lot of changes to the game in the Edge of Fate. like we're definitely going to be listening to you,
Guardian rank
Guardians.
emblem.
We're going to be listening to
Nope,
the
title.
data. We're going to be listening to a lot of stuff. This is just the beginning of a new saga. So we've got a lot to do in the future, and I'm really excited about what's coming our way.
Yeah, awesome. Cool.
Yeah, great.
So I have a few bookkeeping topics to hit before we go about the live game. So we've been talking about the Edge of Fate. Right now we have Rite of the Nine going on with our dungeons. And let's see here. Ooh, today, wow, 54 minutes ago, we had a new engram go live, the non-airy engram.
I'll probably
We
check that out
introduced this in
tomorrow.
the previous TWID, but basically it's a new engram. You can earn a bunch of Rite of the Night currency, Rite of the Nine currency, sorry, and then purchase this engram for unique cosmetic
I think Bungie is still afraid of having too much clutter on the screen. Yeah, but that's why you just make it a toggleable thing.
cosmetics that have been introduced over the past few years in Destiny. So if there are things like the skimmer that is
New light title for maxing out the
kind of,
basic
like
Guardian rank
the
strike.
wolf
Yeah,
king,
see?
that's actually in there,
Take
and you have a
that.
chance to get that. There are some Crimson Doubles emotes and finishers and other cosmetics, so definitely dive in and check that out. Additionally, we had mentioned Lootapalooza. So a couple weeks just before launch, we're going to start showering players with loot. Starting today, we have double Crucible loot, which also applies to Trials of Osiris.
Hell yeah.
So if you're hunting for adepts, if you're hunting for any gear in Crucible, now is a great time to go. And we also have...
Hopefully
for
it's a
the
good
weekend,
weapon in
a
Trials
lot of
this
players have
weekend.
been asking what maps are going to be featured. You got Dissonance, you got, Cirrus Plaza, and then you have the last one, which is Eventide Labs. Yeah, we went through, we had a great conversation about what if we had some type maps.
Don't like ranks in
on
general, how they
rotation
did
for
them.
these
I
last
don't
couple
think
weeks.
the
And,
implementation
for the final
of
week
Guardian
the
ranks was
season, we're gonna
interesting
have
or
Burnout,
helpful to
Endless
anyone,
Veil, and community
that's just my
favorite
opinion.
Javelin 4. So Trials players rejoice. Players that may not have ever played Trials, get in, get your force.
Hopefully
free,
the new
get
ones
some
are a lot
adepts,
better, but
try it
I
out
kinda
and
doubt
get
it.
some
We'll
gear
see.
to loot up for.
It just
for
seems
the
like an
Edge of
extra
Fate.
screen, extra
And
shit
a
to do
final
for
note,
no reason.
we are going to have all dungeons in the Rite of the Nine experience next week. Higher reward rates, higher currency rates, helping you get more of those drops, go into higher difficulties for your adepts, and potentially even get the hollow foil versions with additional perks.
Yeah.
So, awesome. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all on the couch for joining us.
Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you, crew. Thank you, gameplay. Thank you, everybody behind the scenes. And players, everybody out there watching, thank you. We have 14 days until the Edge of Fate, 14 days until a new saga. It has been a wild ride over the last 10 plus years of Destiny, and now we're putting our toe in for the next however many years we keep going, you know?
Here we go.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Much love. We're going to be doing a raid over to our good friend Malachi, so if you
Cool.
want to stick around.
Alrighty. So pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Yeah. I mean, I'm really excited for the portal system. I think that'll be quite literally game changing. The Scarra 9 Classic. I think it will actually like literally be game changing in a very meaningful, huge way. That'll affect everyone who plays Destiny a ton. So that's really exciting. I'm glad they teased the Kepler activities. Sorry, Robbie, for kind of starting that. My bad. But I think it's something that I was genuinely worried about, and I'm glad to see that Kepler does not only have an activity, it has two. So that's kind of cool. Interested to check them out. Learn more about the secret Horde mode, Wellspring, Vex Incursion one, whatever that means. Do you really think we're getting 9 raid? I mean, the screenshot kind of looked like it, but it could have been just sent it up. But we don't know. We'll see. Usually they drop the OST like the night before, like within the week before. So we'll see. Yeah, lots of great stuff. Easily the best Edge of Fate stream out of the 3. Trailer was banger. They actually talk about shit. They answer questions. They show gameplay. They explain systems. They explain why they did it. They have, video while they're talking. This was the best orchestrated and the most helpful and the most informative and the most clear and the most concise stream, the most hype stream. They did a great job. This is good. This is very good. Yeah. Tomorrow, probably after work, I'll do this week's quest for Prophecy, and we'll check out the non-airy engrams. We'll hang out, and then I have the rest of the week off. So lots of prep, lots of hanging out, lots of fun times. That's where I'm going to call it for tonight, though. So let me see if we can find someone to raid. Very good. And once again, I think it's really important to not only be critical and raise concerns about things, But when they do things that are good, it is very important to voice that so they keep doing the good things. So that's my soapbox. I'll die on. Oh, ATP's on. Won't trade ATP. But yep, that's what I got, my friends. Everyone, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. And don't be an asshole. Tell ATP. I don't know. Tell ATP that we love him.